Chapter 2753. The two of them? How can two little girls make me rich? Woman, are you trying to trick me? Do you think I'm an uneducated peasant? Big Brother Hai was very displeased. No, Big Brother Hai, listen to me. Do you know who their parents are? Zhang Manlin grabbed Big Brother Hai's hand anxiously. How the fuck would I know? Woman, don't waste my time. Just tell me. Big Brother Hai seemed to have lost his patience. After all, he was a mountain man and didn't understand word games. Big Brother Hai, the two children's father, is a very famous entrepreneur in our country. His name is Qin Chu, the president of GK Corporation. He's worth tens of billions. Their mother is Huamin, the director of Southside Recuperation Center, the most famous hospital in Sea City. The mansion they live in is a castle worth more than 400 million yuan. The children's grandfather is also an entrepreneur. The children's aunt, second grandpa, and so on. Yes, the children's godfather is Su Yu. You must have heard of this name before. He's the famous heir of the Su family in Sea City, the boss behind Imperial Star Corporation. More than half of the popular female stars were groomed by him. He has more than a dozen sports cars. Is it true? Big Brother Hai obviously didn't believe Zhang Manlin's words. It's true. If I lie to you, I'll die a horrible death. Zhang Manlin swore to win Big Brother Hai's trust. Fuck, don't talk nonsense. Who said Handsome Sue is our godfather? You damn woman, you only know how to spread rumors. Little Bean couldn't help but curse at Zhang Manlin. Exposing her and her sister's identities was one thing. She didn't expect her to be noble. But saying that Handsome Sue was their godfather was a bit too much. The twins often went on Weibo and naturally knew that the word godfather wasn't a good word. So, they didn't want to hear Zhang Manlin's nonsense. Big Brother Hai, trust me. If you tie them up right now and call their father, you'll have 1 billion yuan. I guarantee you won't be able to spend it all in your lifetime. You won't have to hide in this poor valley anymore. Zhang Manlin egged on the man named Big Brother Hai. Actually, she was also trying to divert attention so that his subordinates would not touch her. Zhang Manlin, you're really something. You sold us out just to protect yourself. But that's good. I didn't have to think about how to save you. You're the one who killed yourself. Pudding stared at Zhang Manlin's face, not surprised at all. From the moment she started driving slowly, Pudding suspected that she didn't really want to take them home. Therefore, who knew what other dangers there would be in Qingatown? Things are fine now. The kidnappers suddenly appeared out of nowhere, but as long as they weren't Zhang Manlin or Huasiqian's people, things weren't that bad. Kid, I don't need you to save me. Haha, save it. Zhang Manlin sneered at Pudding. All right, stop arguing. Since we accidentally caught 2 money trees, then, I really need to plan how to make a lot of money. I've had enough of living in this poor ravine. It's time to think about the rest of my life, brothers. Here, the 5 men replied in unison. Our good days are coming. Long live Big Brother Hai. Big Brother, what should we do now? Should we call the families of the 2 kids? Big Brother Hai's men asked excitedly. Chapter 2754. Don't worry, we're tired. Go and cook. We'll have a drink first, and then figure out a plan. Yes, boss. The thugs were very happy. Lock the 2 kids in the warehouse. Wait, Pudding suddenly shouted. The adults turned around and looked at Pudding. You're all big men. Do you have to do this? We're only 3 years old. Do you think we can run away? Why don't you lock the woman up? If she accidentally runs away, you'll be in trouble. She'll go down the mountain and call the police. After Pudding finished speaking, the men immediately looked at Zhang Manlin warily. Zhang Manlin was so scared that she quickly waved her hands. Guys, don't listen to this little brat. I won't say anything. I've already told you such important information. I'm on your side now. I won't call the police or run away. After you get the ransom, just let me go. I don't want a penny. No, I'll have to lock you up first. You guys go and lock them up. The 2 little ones in the warehouse. As for the woman, lock her up in the basement. Pudding's words made sense. Big Brother Hai was afraid that Zhang Manlin would cause trouble, so he really locked her up in the basement, where it was even harder to escape. Little brat. Zhang Manlin cursed evilly as she walked past Pudding. Bitch. Pudding, who had always been polite and didn't like to curse, retorted for the first time. She also cursed Zhang Manlin. Just like that, the twins were locked up in the warehouse. Zhang Manlin was locked up in the basement. The thugs ate and drank as if they were celebrating the capture of the God of Fortune. On the other side, near Taoyuan village, the helicopter landed on the flat ground at the foot of the mountain. The armed police were all on standby. There were 40 to 50 people. Gao Ran, in his police uniform, got off the plane. When he got off the helicopter, the leader of the armed police walked over and saluted Gao Ran. "Hello, Chief Gao. I'm Zhang Bin, the platoon leader of this mission. We received orders from our superiors to help you chase the thugs." "Yes, thank you for your hard work, platoon leader Zhang." Gao Ran nodded. "It's nothing. It's my duty to serve the people." "What's the situation in the mountains now? Can you find the exact location of He Yongjun and Wang Yao?" Gao Ran asked as he took the binoculars for Zhang Bin. "It's very difficult. That criminal is obviously very skilled, and his anti-reconnaissance ability is particularly strong. The place he's hiding in is steep, easy to defend, and difficult to attack. We're thinking of a way. Yes, if necessary, you can kill him on the spot." Gao Ran directly told him the truth. "Understood." Afterward, platoon leader Zhang went to deploy the mission. Gao Ran turned around and said to Qin Shu and Huo Min, "This is a reinforced platoon. There are more than 50 of them. There are soldiers stationed nearby. Although their firepower is not particularly strong, it is more than enough to deal with He Yongjun and Shunjiani. You guys don't have to worry." "Okay," Qin Shu nodded. Then, he looked at his watch and realized that a few hours had passed. He didn't say anything. Instead, he took out a few egg yolk pies from his backpack and handed them to Huo Min. "Mian, eat some first. Fill your stomach, or else you'll feel uncomfortable." Qin Shu looked at Huo Min gently. "Honey, if you're not hungry, eat less. Treat it as a snack. Good girl, listen to me. I'll call Su Yu and ask about the situation in Qingatown." After speaking, Qin Shu touched Huo Min's face lovingly. Then, he turned around and picked up his phone to call Su Yu. Chapter 2755. "Hello, Su Yu. Are you guys in Qingatown yet?" Huo Min leaned against the police car and forced herself to eat the egg yolk pie that Mr. Qin brought for her. She reached out and touched her belly. She was so depressed recently. How was the baby in her belly? Had it grown a little? After a while, Qin Shu hung up the phone and walked back. "Honey, did you get the baby?" Huo Min immediately asked. "Not yet. Zhang Manlin hasn't arrived in Qingatown yet." "How could this be? Did something go wrong?" Huo Min's expression was terrible. "No, don't worry, Mian. Qingatown is Zhang Manlin's only way. She has no other way out and will definitely pass by Qingatown. Qingatown is guarded by Su Yu, Tang Chuan, and Ning Ning. There are also many police officers guarding the town. Even a fly would have a hard time flying in, let alone a living person." Qin Shu comforted Huo Min. "I hope the babies are okay." As she spoke, Huo Min leaned on Qin Shu's shoulder and began crying again. Perhaps it was because pregnant women tended to be emotional. Huo Min was physically and mentally exhausted and looked very fragile. Even Gao Ran couldn't stand it anymore. "Huo Min, go rest in the car. There's hot water inside and it's too cold outside." "There's nothing you can do outside." Before Huo Min could speak, a loud noise came from the mountains. "What's that sound?" Gao Ran turned his head and his expression changed drastically. Then, he saw a few police officers run out in panic. "Platoon leader, the criminal had explosives on him. Our people were injured. Contact the hospital immediately." Platoon leader Zhang Bin was also very anxious. "I told you that they had explosives on them. Why didn't you be more careful?" Gao Ran felt bad when he heard that someone was injured. "Chief Gao, we've been very careful, but that criminal is too cunning. He didn't throw the explosives out directly, but buried them. We couldn't see them at all." A young armed police officer replied, feeling wronged. "Fuck, you want to play mind warfare with me?" Gao Ran was furious. "Chief Gao, what should we do now? Should we find a demoning expert?" Platoon leader Zhang Bin was also at a loss. They're just the armed police force. Their usual anti-terrorism measures are just for show. They have never experienced anything like this before. So, he asked for Gao Ran's opinion. "If you want a demoning expert, You'll have to transfer him from the province. It's too late, too late. He Yongjun will run away. Gao Ran gritted his teeth and said. He had read He Yongjun's information. He was a very cunning person who was good at smuggling. He could come and go as he pleased in a place like Vietnam where dragons and snakes mingled. Therefore, they couldn't let their guard down. I know how to demean. Let me do it. Qin Shu took off his black casual jacket and put it in his hand. Then, he walked out from behind Gao Ran. Are you? Gao Ran didn't expect Qin Shu to step up at this time. However, he knew that Mr. Qin was never one to brag. If he said he knew how to demean, then he definitely knew how to do it. I'm going to demean. You guys follow behind me. That way, it'll be fine. Qin Shu looked at platoon leader Zhang Bin and said, No, I don't agree. Huamin threw the egg yolk pie in his hand onto the ground. He jogged over and grabbed Qin Shu's hand. Huamin. Qin Shu's tone was gentle. He wanted to coax Huamin. I said no, I can't let you take the risk. He Yongjun doesn't play by the rules. We can't take the risk. Huamin's attitude was firm. Then what do we do now? Platoon leader Zhang was also at a loss. Chapter 2756. Huamin. Qin Shu tried to convince Huamin. However, Huamin interrupted him. I have an idea. What idea? Gao Ran came over curiously. He knew that Huamin had always been smart. Doesn't he Yongjun like to play with landmines? Then we can give him a taste of his own medicine, Huamin said. Platoon leader Zhang was confused, and so was Gao Ran. Even Qin Shu immediately understood Huamin's intention. Mian, you want to use explosives? Yes. Huamin nodded. But we didn't bring any explosives. Plus, we're not allowed to bring explosives when we're on a mission. If we go back to the army to apply, it'll take a long time to get approval from the higher-ups. It'll still be a waste of time. Platoon leader Zhang didn't think Huamin's idea was good. No need, I can make it on the spot, Huamin said calmly. What? Platoon leader Zhang's mouth opened wide. I said, I can make explosives on the spot for you to use, Huamin repeated. Oh my God, your wife is going to heaven. Gao Ran glanced at Qin Shu. Qin Shu, on the other hand, had a proud look on his face. He put his arm around Huamin's shoulder and said, My wife is a genius. Yes, if you want to say that, no one will argue with you. Gao Ran nodded in agreement. Is this reliable? Platoon leader Zhang didn't know Huamin. He only knew that she was the mother of the kidnapped child and was also Director Gao's friend. How could a woman who looked so weak do such a dangerous thing? Don't doubt her. She's the director of the hospital and a genius of the medical school. Gao Ran felt that even if Huamin said that he could make an atomic bomb, he would not be surprised. This was because Huamin and Qin Shu were the same. They were both people who didn't know how to brag. They never dared to say anything that wasn't reliable. Since I've said it, I'll definitely do it. This is something that ordinary women can't compare to. Even Zhang Xiaowei gave him a thumbs up, but the area in the mountain is very big. The explosives I have won't be enough. Platoon leader Zhang looked at the terrain analysis in the depths of the mountain. It's okay. I'll make as many explosives as you want, Huamin said confidently. This time, it was platoon leader Zhang's turn to be speechless. Mian, you're going to use gasoline and beer, right? Qin Shu was also a medical student, so he knew what his wife was thinking. Yes. Huamin nodded. I had the same idea as you, but gasoline and beer bottles are limited in power. I'm afraid it won't be enough to intimidate He Yongjun. Qin Shu also had his own doubts. Therefore, he thought that it would be better to just clear the mines. After all, based on their current analysis, He Yongjun wouldn't have a lot of explosives on him. However, Huamin didn't want Qin Shu to take the risk. She would rather start making large quantities of explosives. Just as Qin Shu said, she used a lot of gasoline from the car. Gasoline was a flammable and explosive liquid. Then, she put in a glass bottle, and it became a very simple explosive. She lit it with a lighter, and it went up into the air with a bang. Huamin and Qin Shu led a group of armed police to work on the explosives. It didn't take long for them to finish. Everyone brought the explosives into the mountain again to search for He Yongjun and Shinjiani's hiding place. Just then, Huamin turned around and took out a small white bag from her bag. Huamin, what are you doing? Gao Ran curiously leaned over to take a look. A big gift for the two bastards who kidnapped my daughter, Huamin said calmly. Then, Huamin skillfully poured the white powder into the glass bottle and mixed it with gasoline. Chapter 2757. Qin Shu, your wife is showing her power. Gao Ran was speechless. Yeah, don't hold back. Honey, use your talents. If anything happens, I'll take care of it for you. Qin Shu quietly fanned the flames. Gao Ran was speechless upon hearing this. Platoon leader Zhang Bin didn't say a word. He didn't dare to get involved because his superiors told him that this mission was very special. The parents of the missing children were very important people and couldn't be messed with. Even Gao Ran, the director of the Municipal Public Security Bureau, was a few ranks higher than him. Not to mention this mysterious couple who looked a little strange. Wait, Huamin, don't be impulsive. I know you hate those two people, but it's not good to blow them up, right? Gao Ran thought that Huamin was going to kill He Yongjun and Shun Jiani in one fell swoop. So he tried to persuade Huamin not to be impulsive. Huamin didn't say anything. He lowered his head and continued to fiddle with the machine, looking very serious. Huamin, I'm serious. Let's not joke around. What I mean is, you can blow up their arms and legs, but I'll be able to report back to my superiors if they're still alive. Ha! Don't worry. These two bastards will be locked up for the rest of their lives. Gao Ran continued to persuade him. Huamin still didn't say anything. Qin Shu didn't know what he was thinking. Qin Shu, help me persuade your wife. Don't be impulsive. Impulsiveness is the devil. Finally, Gao Ran stood up helplessly and turned to Qin Shu for help. My wife likes devils. Mr. Qin was extremely protective of his wife. Gao Ran. Just as Gao Ran was speechless, Huamin stood up and took out a small glass bottle. The liquid inside was light purple. Don't worry, I won't directly take their lives. I know what I'm doing. Huamin said. Hey, that's good. You should have said so earlier. Someone, bring this explosive into the mountains. Wait a minute. Huamin stopped them. What? Is there anything else we need to pay attention to? Gao Ran had never had enough of watching Huamin develop explosives. Therefore, they weren't sure what kind of firepower it was, if only Suyu was here. Suyu had seen Huamin bring liquid explosives to Huasiqian with his own eyes. The firepower left Suyu flabbergasted. Of course you have to be careful. This thing doesn't have to be too close to He Yongjun and the others. It'll be effective within a radius of 10 li, Huamin said. Fuck, within a radius of 10 li? You're not blowing people up, you're blowing up mountains. Vice Director Hua. Gao Ran was once again dumbfounded. Let me finish, don't worry. The firepower of this explosive isn't that great, but after it explodes, it will release a chemical gas. So, after we detonate it, we need to quickly evacuate with gas masks. The rest is easy. He Yongjun and Shun Jiani will be powerless within 5 minutes once they smell the gas. That's amazing. Gao Ran seemed to be a little skeptical. What? Why don't you try it first? Huamin asked him back. No, I was just asking. Huh? Did you guys hear what Vice Director Hua said? Gao Ran asked the two armed police officers holding the explosives. Yes. Then go. Let's get this over with quickly, Gao Ran ordered. When the armed police officers brought the explosives into the depths of the mountains again, it was much easier. They detonated the simple explosives developed by Huamin according to Qin Shu's deployment location. Then, they blew up the explosives that Yongjun had previously buried deep in the mountains behind a huge rock. Shun Jiani trembled as she grabbed He Yongjun's clothes. Big Brother Jun, what should we do? They seem to have destroyed all our explosives. Chapter 2758. He Yongjun looked at the sky and said calmly, Don't be afraid. It's going to be dark soon. If we hide, they won't be able to find us. I heard that military dogs are very powerful. Shun Jiani said worriedly, thinking about some military programs she had seen on TV. Don't worry. It's all gunpowder here. Military dogs won't be able to sense us. He Yongjun didn't seem to care about the armed police. He was used to hiding from place to place. He already had a rich anti-reconnaissance ability. It would be very difficult for ordinary people to catch him. It was going to be dark soon. It would be very difficult to catch him in the dark mountains. Hyungjun was good at mountain roads, so he could continue to run in the dark with Shun Jiani. By the time the sun rose, the two of them would probably be on another mountain. They would have to abandon all their electronic devices. They wouldn't even be able to locate them. Hyungjun was indeed cunning, but he didn't expect Huamin to have a countermeasure. Inside the military car, Qin Shu put his arm around Huamin's shoulder and helped her into the backseat of the car. Then, he took off his clothes and covered her legs with them. It's very cold in the mountains at night. You have to be careful not to catch a cold, Qin Shu said. Huamin nodded. If I'm not wrong, there's ammonium nitrate in it, right? Yes. Huamin smiled and nodded. He was indeed her husband. He knew her well. But if it's just ammonium nitrate, it can't be that color. So I think there's a special imported chemical from your hospital, WT2, Qin Shu guessed. You're right. Guess what the poisonous gas is? That's easy. It's made of ether and anesthetic. One makes people unconscious, and the other makes people immobile. Humph. You guessed it. It's not fun. Huamin pouted. By the way, when did you bring these things? How come I didn't notice? Qin Shu really didn't notice that Huamin had so much synthetic chemical powder on him. When I first received the news that they were hiding in the mountains, I thought that since Hyungjun was a sly old man, it wouldn't be easy to catch him. So, I brought some with me, thinking that they might come in handy. Well, my wife is still so smart. Who said that pregnancy makes a woman stupid for 3 years? I don't think she's stupid at all. Instead, she's grown a lot. Qin Shu praised. Pudding and Little Bean are already 3.5 years old. 3 years of pregnancy is over. Okay? I'm back to full health now, but Huamin was just about to say, I'm going to enter the stage of pregnancy stupidity again. But when the words were about to come out of his mouth, he held them back. But what? Seeing that Huamin had stopped talking halfway, Qin Shu was anxious. Nothing. Honey, I'm a little thirsty. Can you give me a cup of hot water? Huamin changed the subject. Qin Shu immediately turned around and went to get the water. Huamin was glad that Qin Shu was by her side no matter how difficult the situation was. He took care of her all the time. The only thing she hoped for was that the children would come back safely. That was her only wish right now. Huamin put her hand on her belly and said softly, Baby, be good. Pray for your sisters to come back safely. Okay? In the Qinghe mountain village, when the kidnappers were drinking, the leader suddenly said, Go, bring the 2 kids out. We should ask for the phone number of their billionaire father. Chapter 2759. Okay, big brother. One of the drunken lackeys went to the warehouse and brought out the twins who were locked inside. They were tied up with ropes. Sis, what should we do? Little Bean panicked. It's okay. Don't be afraid, Little Bean. I used to be the one negotiating, but this time, it's your turn. What? Me? Little Bean was surprised. The henchman was drunk and didn't pay attention to the conversation between the 2 kids. He just held the rope and walked forward. Yeah, I can't be the one doing this every time. After all, you need to learn some survival skills. Pfft. Sis, please let me go. How can you let me do an experiment at a time like this? What if I don't do it well and that man kills us both? Little Bean didn't dare to make such a big decision. I believe you have the ability to keep us safe. Little Bean looked at her sister with confidence. No, I don't even believe in myself. Sis, you should do it. You're good with words and you're smart. No, I won't say anything. You have to train yourself. You'll be the one doing the talking. Otherwise, we'll be killed. Little Bean didn't know what to do. Little Bean was about to say something when the henchman turned around and scolded her. You 2 brats, don't talk nonsense. Be quiet. When you see my big brother, you'll answer whatever he asks you. Otherwise, you'll suffer. Just like that, the 2 kids were brought to the man called Big Brother High. Big brother, they're here. Hey, Big Beard, I want to talk to you alone. Little Bean gathered her courage and looked at the man called Big Brother High. Big Beard? Big Brother High was surprised. The henchmen touched themselves and found that only their big brother had a beard. Big brother, this brat is calling you. One of the henchmen said. Brat, how can you talk to my big brother like that? The other henchman was angry and raised his hand to hit Little Bean. However, he was stopped by the man called Brother High. He laughed and stood up. Big Beard, this name is not bad. I do have a lot of beard. But, you child, you look young, but you are quite brave, aren't you? How old are you? 3.5. Little Bean answered without hesitation. Only 3.5 years old? You're so young. Are you twins? Big Brother High looked at Little Bean and then at Pudding. If they're not twins, why would they look so alike? Isn't that obvious? Little Bean retorted. Oh, kid, you're quite aggressive. This is not being aggressive. This is called being arrogant. Do you understand? Our family's genes are like this. My grandparents are arrogant, and so is my aunt. My daddy and mommy are the kings of arrogance. So, when it comes to me and my sister, we can't admit defeat. Ugh. Big Beard was stunned by Little Bean's words. Let me ask you, are you really only 3 years old? The bearded man questioned. Do you want me to show you my birth certificate? Little Bean replied confidently. That won't be necessary. Actually, I don't care how old you are. What I care about now is the two of you. Hurry up and tell me how to contact your father or mother. Landline numbers are fine too. Contact them immediately. We want the ransom. What if we don't tell you? Little Bean asked. If you don't tell me, haha, then you won't have a good ending. I don't want to bully kids. Big Brother High smiled and answered Little Bean. Chapter 2760. But you've already bullied her. You're bullying a 3.5-year-old child, Little Bean said. Big Brother High, cut the crap. Hurry up and tell us your phone number. Let's not waste time. The twins looked at each other, speechless. Big Brother High gave his subordinate a look. One of his subordinates immediately took out a kitchen knife. Then, he took out a dead chicken from nowhere. In front of the twins, he chopped it. They thought that the child would immediately break down and cry when she saw this scene. Then, she would tell them her phone number. Who knew? The twins looked calmly at the man, chopping the chicken with disdain in their eyes. Are you acting funny? Pudding asked. Little brat, let me tell you. If you don't tell us your phone number, you'll end up like this, the subordinate said fiercely. Unexpectedly, Little Bean walked over and snatched the kitchen knife from his hand. Then, he aimed at the dead chicken's neck. With a loud clang, he ruthlessly chopped the chicken's head off. The burly men had never seen such a scene before. They were dumbfounded. Pudding, on the other hand, was very calm because Little Bean was famous for her courage. When she first learned how to walk, she played with a snake with her bare hands. Even the maids at home were shocked. Therefore, chopping a chicken, especially a dead chicken, was a piece of cake for Little Bean. Big Brother High, this child is very fierce. The subordinate was ashamed of his inferiority. You guys are really a bunch of trash. You can't even scare a child. I fucking raised you for nothing. So, what other tricks do you have? Hurry up and use them. Little Bean threw the kitchen knife on the ground. The back of the knife hit the foot of the man chopping the chicken, causing him to immediately cover his foot. Not bad, child. You're brave. Haha, you're born to be a bandit. How about this? You could be my goddaughter. Bah, you wish. You want to be my godfather? Do you think you're worthy? Little Bean looked down on the man called Big Brother High. Stupid girl, what are you talking about? You're asking for a beating. The men behind her couldn't stand it anymore and wanted to step forward. But he was stopped by Big Brother High. Scram, none of you are allowed to touch her. I like this child. Ha, if only she were my biological daughter, I would definitely give her my entire empire. She's a natural-born bandit. All right, stop daydreaming. Let's get down to business. Big Beard, let's talk. Sure, what do you want to talk about? Big Brother High liked this chubby little girl more and more, so he was naturally interested in her words. There are too many people here. Let's talk inside. Little Bean looked around. All right, haha, I want to see how capable you are. You want to negotiate with me? You really want to go to heaven? Big Brother High laughed and waved his hand to dismiss his men. He also signaled for someone to take Pudding to the side. Sister, I will think of a way to deal with Big Beard. Wait for me, don't be afraid. Pudding said in a low voice when they walked past her. Pudding nodded. In the house, the bearded man leaned against the chair with a toothpick in his hand and looked at the little guy in front of him. All right, let's talk now. Big Beard, you know who my daddy is, right? Sort of. I heard your daddy is very rich, the bearded man said. Yes, he is very rich, but he is also very fierce, especially to his enemies. So, Big Beard, do you think you can get away with the ransom if you take my sister and me? You know that if my daddy wants to kill someone, it's easier than killing an ant, Little Beans said calmly. Are you trying to scare me? Do you think I'm scared? The bearded man laughed. Chapter 2761. Scare you? No, no, no. Cheen Moo Moo, would never do something as cowardly as scaring people. Big Beard, I'm serious. You have to listen carefully, or you'll regret it. Little Bean's face was unprecedentedly serious, although she was definitely very nervous in her heart. Since her elder sister had given her such an important task, she definitely couldn't embarrass herself. In the past, people often said that Pudding was so smart that she took after her parents. Every time, Little Bean would feel awkward. She was actually very smart, but she was always overshadowed by her sister's brilliance. I'm listening carefully. Girl, go on. Big Beard really liked this little thing, so he didn't show any impatience. In other words, if you take the ransom, even if you're lucky enough to escape, you won't be able to stay in the country. Think about it. The country is cracking down on the most wanted criminals. Now that the tickets are registered, it'll be hard for you to survive. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in the mountains after taking 1 billion yuan? Little Bean spread out her hands and made a hypothesis. Big Beard nodded. You're right, but we can go abroad and have fun. Abroad? Hee. Little Bean sneered. Hee what? Big Beard was confused. Do you think it's easy to live abroad? Iraq, Syria, and Pakistan are all at war all year round. Why would I go there? If I want to go, I'll go to Canada or the US. Big Beard quibbled. Big Beard, I'm not looking down on you, but tell me the truth. Have you been to the US? Little Bean asked seriously. No. Why? Have you been there? Big Beard asked back, unconvinced. Little Bean looked proud. Of course. My grandparents lived in the US, and so did my second grandpa and aunt. My sister and I have been there before, so we know the situation there. The U.S. is a legalized country, and there are shootings on the streets at any time. If you don't have bodyguards, the gangs there can bully Chinese. You guys don't even know how to speak a foreign language. Do you think it's easy to go abroad? Also, do you know why I don't like the U.S.? Little Bean asked. I don't know. The bearded man was already brainwashed by Little Bean, so he followed Little Bean's train of thought very smoothly. That's because there's too little good food in the States. You'll puke if you eat hamburgers, cola, and chicken wings all day long. Let me tell you, even the steak is half done when it's served. It's not like China, where there are so many different cuisines. If you want to eat dumplings, you have dumplings, pies, and red bean buns. You're lying to me. I watch movies too. There's a Chinatown and a Chinese restaurant there. The bearded man continued to quibble. That's right, but the things in there are extremely expensive. Even a Lao Gan Ma that is sold in Chinese supermarkets is a few dozen bottles. Can you afford it? Damn it, it's so expensive. Is this daylight robbery? The bearded man was completely influenced by Little Bean. Of course. What do you think? That's why I said, don't think of overseas as paradise. It's not that easy. So what should I do? The bearded man was unsure of what to do after hearing Little Bean's words. Chapter 2762. He grew up in the mountains and never went to school. He relied on a group of brothers to survive. They ate and drank. Usually, they would go to the small town to ask for some protection money. When they grew up, they thought about building a bandit's nest here. Although it was called a bandit's nest, Big Brother High and the others didn't do anything big or evil. It was just that there were some good cars coming and going. They would rob them and get some money to spend. This time, there was actually a reason for the car robbery. It was because in this group of brothers, there was a guy called Eye who was in a relationship with a girl from Wong Village. Then, the girl wanted 100,000 yuan as a gift. Otherwise, she wouldn't agree to the marriage. According to Big Brother High's plan, he would forcefully marry her and directly kidnap her. However, Eye felt that he really loved her and didn't want to wrong the girl, so he wanted to rely on himself to get 100,000 yuan. Therefore, the few of them thought about it and went all out to do a big job. They didn't expect to meet such a big money tree in the first round. To be honest, Big Brother Hai and the others hadn't seen much of the world. When Zhang Manlin finished talking to them, they were excited. However, they couldn't suppress the nervousness and fear in their hearts. One had to know that if they were caught by the police for carjacking and stealing money, they would at most be sentenced to a few years. If it was more serious, it would be more than 10 years. However, if it was a kidnapping, the mood would be different. Although they were a group of boorish people and didn't know much about the law, they watched a lot of TV and knew that it was a big crime. Now that they heard Little Bean say this, they felt even more scared. I have a good idea. It's up to you whether you accept it or not, Little Bean said. Tell me, I'm listening. Big Beard, what do you think of me? Little Bean asked. You? You have guts. I really like you. Otherwise, would I let you be my goddaughter? Big Brother Hai had a high opinion of her. Don't talk nonsense with me. What I mean is, although I'm a child, do you think I'm smart? Yes, a prodigy. Big Brother Hai had never seen a 3-year-old child who could speak so much and make so much sense. If he saw a child like Little Bean in the depths of the mountains, he would think that she was a ginseng child who had become a spirit. So, my words have some authority, right? Little Bean continued to pave the way for her. All right, go ahead. I'll listen first. Big Brother Hai seemed to be quite serious. Big Beard, let me show you the way. Since you didn't hurt or mistreat my sister and me, as long as you inform my daddy and ask him to come and pick us up, you guys will be our saviors this time. When we get home safely, not only will we not call the police to arrest you, I can also ask my daddy to settle all the small things you guys did in the past and let bygones be bygones. Also, my daddy will give each of you a house in Sea City, a car for each of you, and most importantly, a job for each of you. Do you know why I'm giving you jobs? Little Bean asked. The bearded man shook his head, looking very confused. According to the ancient books, it is better to teach a man how to fish than to give him fish. It means it is better to teach you how to fish than to give you fish directly. You will eat all the fish I give you one day. However, if I teach you how to fish, you will be able to catch a lot of fish. At that time, you will have an endless supply of fish. Which one do you think is more appropriate? As Little Bean spoke, she extended her chubby finger and poked the bearded man's nose. So you're giving us jobs for our own good? The bearded man seemed to understand after hearing Little Bean's words. Chapter 2763. Of course, I can ask Daddy to give you money. But if he gives you money and you squander it, what will happen in the future? So, why don't I find you stable jobs? You're not young anymore. What era is this? Don't take over the mountain and call yourself king. That's so childish. You're like cavemen. So, if you're willing to do this, I'll arrange a good job for each of you. Then, you won't have to worry about food and clothing for the rest of your lives. The most important thing is that you can leave this place. That's a good idea. But how can I trust you? Big Beard looked at Little Bean and asked, because you have no choice. It's up to you whether you want to go to heaven or hell. Also, don't blame me for not reminding you. Do you think you can live to spend 1 billion yuan? Do you know what it means to be unlucky? Little Bean's words pierced the bearded man's heart. Big Beard, if you don't trust me, then you can't trust Zhang Manlin. Zhang Manlin? You mean that woman? Big Beard froze. Yes. Do you know what our relationship is with her? She said she's also the one who caught you. Big Beard vaguely remembered Zhang Manlin saying this before. That's right. That woman is indeed a bad person. She also wants to catch us. But she's different from you. You're only after money. She wants to kill me and my sister. Huh? No way. Big Beard obviously felt that Little Bean's words were a bit ridiculous. Don't you see that she's a woman who had plastic surgery? That's true. When the light flashes, the bridge of the nose becomes transparent. That's what they say on TV. Many female celebrities have plastic surgery or something. In my opinion, after they have plastic surgery, they're not as good-looking as the girls in the villages below. The bearded man lamented. Not only did she have plastic surgery, but she also purposely made herself look like our mommy. She wanted to seduce Daddy. This kind of scheming bitch is the worst. My sister and I taught her a lesson before, so she holds a grudge. This time, she caught us and instigated you to kidnap us. When the police come, she'll be the victim and you'll be the scapegoat for her. Fuck. Big Beard finally understood. Now that I put it this way, you should understand a little, right? I didn't think too much about it. Now that you mention it, this woman isn't a good person. The bearded man didn't like Zhang Manlin to begin with. Hearing Little Bean's words, he got even angrier. Zhang Manlin wants to kill two birds with one stone. She wants to get rid of us and get rid of you. Unfortunately, my sister and I won't let her get away with it. Big Beard, we don't have much time left. Either you listen to me and tell my dad, or you listen to Zhang Manlin and kidnap us for ransom. I'll give you the phone number, but how you tell my dad is your choice. You can become our family savior in an instant and accept my dad's reward with a clear conscience. Or you can become the most wanted criminal overnight and run for your life with the money. Or you can be shot dead by the police before you get the money. It's your choice. This matter? No, it's a bit messy. I need to think about it. The bearded man had no idea what to do after hearing Little Bean's words. Okay, you can think about it for one night. Give me an answer tomorrow morning. There's something else I want to tell you secretly. Little Bean hooked her finger and said mysteriously to the bearded man. Big Beard actually came over obediently and followed Little Bean's command. Chapter 2764. After Little Bean and Big Brother Hai finished talking, they were sent back to the warehouse. But before they could sit down, their subordinates moved them to another place. This time, they were changed to a comfortable room and treated like VIPs. Big Brother Hai said to treat you too well. After saying that, the man left some warm meat buns, fruits, and water and left. Looks like the negotiation went well. Pudding looked at the treatment and knew that Little Bean and Big Brother Hai must have finished talking. Of course, if I, Little Bean, went out, nothing would grow within 100 miles. Stop bragging. Talk properly. How did it go? Did he agree? Pudding asked. He didn't agree. He said he'll think about it for a night. But I think he'll agree. I've already analyzed the pros and cons. As long as he's not an idiot, he'll know what to choose. I think it's about time. All right, the two of you can eat and sleep without worry. Tomorrow, you'll see Daddy and Mommy. Pudding stretched lazily and brought the food over. The two girls seemed to be in a good mood. They ate meat buns and fruits. On the other hand, Zhang Manlin wasn't so lucky. She was locked in a cold and damp basement. Although it was called a basement, it was actually a cellar to store cabbage. It was full of the smell of rotten vegetables and rats. Zhang Manlin was so scared that she curled up in a corner and didn't dare to move. At this time, the sky gradually darkened. A man with a flashlight quietly came to the basement. Who is it? Zhang Manlin trembled in fear. Don't talk. If you don't want to die, shut up. Then, the man slowly approached her. Then, a pair of big hands wandered around her body. Big Brother, please do me a favor and let me go. After you get the ransom, you can have any woman you want. Zhang Manlin knew what the man was going to do, so she tried to persuade him. Don't talk nonsense. Let me feel good first. I haven't tasted a woman in a long time. I can't wait to get the ransom. Plus, if you're with me, I'll treat you well. After saying that, the man kissed her in the dark. Zhang Manlin wanted to fight back, but she felt a dagger at her waist. If you move again, I'll stab you, the man threatened fiercely. Zhang Manlin was afraid of death, so she was too scared to move. She closed her eyes and reluctantly cooperated. Half an hour later, the man pulled up his pants and said with some surprise, I didn't expect you to be a virgin. I thought that the women in your city had already been slept to death. Zhang Manlin gritted her teeth and sat up. Enduring the pain, she straightened her collar. She wanted to kill this man, but she didn't dare to say anything. Don't worry, I'm not a heartless person. Since you gave me your first time, I'll definitely give you something after we get the ransom. Of course, if you're willing to follow me, you can always follow me. This man was one of Big Brother Hai's underlings. His nickname was Slippery Head. Because he had a lot of ideas and thoughts, everyone called him Slippery Head. While everyone was drunk and asleep, he couldn't resist the temptation. So, he went to the basement and raped Zhang Manlin. But after all, he was from the mountains and had a simple personality. So, after he raped her and found out that it was her first time, he wanted compensation. Big brother, I don't want money or compensation. Just do something for me. Zhang Manlin deliberately coaxed the man. Chapter 2765. Do you want me to let you go now? No, the boss won't agree. Even if you want to leave, you have to wait until we've dealt with the two kids. Otherwise, who knows if you'll tip him off? Trickster looked at Zhang Manlin cautiously and said slowly, "It's not about that. I know it's too hard for you to let me go." Zhang Manlin pretended to be understanding. Trickster relaxed a little after hearing this. He relaxed and hugged her. As long as it's not about that, everything else is fine. After all, you're my woman now. Then, Trickster leaned over and kissed Zhang Manlin on the lips. Zhang Manlin resisted the urge to vomit. She never thought that one day she would be bullied by a gangster. It's about the two kids. Let me ask you, what are you going to do with them? After you get the ransom, will you kill them or kill them? I haven't thought about that yet. Let's see what the boss wants. But I don't think he'll do that. Don't be fooled by his fierce look. He's not a bad person. We haven't hurt anyone in the past few years, so it's unlikely that he'll kill the two kids. Even Trickster felt that it was enough to get the money. Why would they kill the kids? After all, the two kids were still young and looked quite cute. That's where you're wrong. That's what I want to talk about. After you get the ransom, you must kill the two kids, Zhang Manlin said mysteriously. Why? Because think about it. They've seen your faces. It'll be easy for the police to arrest you in the future. But the boss said that the kid's father is very powerful. If that's the case, we won't be able to escape even if we kill the kids. The kid's father will come after us. Trickster refuted Zhang Manlin. You can't think like that. Let me put it this way. We're in the same boat now. Because I exposed their identities, the two kids see me as an enemy. And you guys, you've kidnapped them for so long. Even if you don't kill them, the kid's father won't let you go. So, I think it's better for you guys to get rid of the roots. Zhang Manlin continued to instigate Trickster. Actually, one of the reasons she hated the twins was because she was afraid that if the twins returned safely, then they would definitely tell Qinshu that she was the one who revealed the twins' identity. At that time, wouldn't Qinshu have a bad impression of him? They might even be dealt with by Huomin and the others. If that was the case, they might as well go all the way and kill the two children. At that time, Zhang Manlin could insist that she was also a victim. She wanted to save the child, but failed. In this case, whether it was the police or Qinshu, they had no reason to suspect her. Hearing Zhang Manlin's words, Trickster hesitated. Those two children are too young. I really don't have the heart to kill them. How can a person like you do great things? You're so soft-hearted. Don't forget, you're a kidnapper, not a charity. Zhang Manlin looked at the man in front of her with disappointment. She thought he was a complete loser. I can't make the decision. It's up to the boss. I have an idea. Just listen to me. Zhang Manlin didn't seem to give up so easily and continued to persuade the man in front of her. Chapter 2766. What idea? Trickster looked at Zhang Manlin in confusion. After you get the ransom, if your boss asks you to let them go, just go. When the time comes, you could just put the two children into a bag and throw them into the sea. After that, you can go back and get your share of the money. Then, you can go far away. Hearing this, Trickster looked at Zhang Manlin suspiciously. Of course, I can't stay here any longer. The police will definitely arrest me. I have nowhere else to go in my current state. So, I think that as long as you help me do this, I'll feel at ease and go with you. When the time comes, we'll go to a new place, a place where no one knows us, and start new. Then, Zhang Manlin deliberately winked at Trickster to seduce him. Will you really go with me? No matter how smart a man was, once he fell into a woman's trap, he would still become irrational. Of course, I'm already yours. I have nowhere else to go. You'll take me with you, right? Zhang Manlin smiled sweetly and held the man's arm in front of her. Yes, I may not have studied for many years, but I'm not a heartless man. Since you're with me, I'll definitely take responsibility. Trickster was touched by Zhang Manli's beautiful wish. So you promise me, right? Zhang Manlin asked worriedly. But do we have to kill the two kids? Trickster still couldn't make up his mind. If they don't die, there will be endless trouble. Listen to me, I won't cheat you. I know the parents too well. Zhang Manlin tried to scare Trickster again. Then, okay, then it's settled for now. We'll talk about it when I get the money. Okay, you must tell your boss when the time comes. You'll send the kids back. Okay. Trickster nodded, his heart heavy. Then I'll go back first. The boss will be looking for me soon. How long do I have to stay here? It's so dark here, and there are rats. I'm so scared. Zhang Manlin whined. Trickster couldn't bear it. To be honest, although he wasn't a virgin, he had slept with prostitutes before. This was the first time he slept with a prostitute, and it was his first time too. So, there was a subtle change in his heart. His sense of responsibility was bursting. How about this? You follow me up first. You can stay in my room, but I still have to tie your hands and feet. Is that okay? Otherwise, my brothers will be suspicious. Okay. Zhang Manlin nodded obediently. But don't worry, our boss will definitely settle this matter today. When that time comes, you'll be free. All right. Just like that, Trickster led Zhang Manlin out of the basement and into his room. Zhang Manlin's hands and feet were tied up, so there was no way she could run. Even if she wanted to, she couldn't. If she ran out now, she would definitely be suspected by the police. Therefore, she had to stay and continue to play the victim, the same victim as the twins, so that she could wash away the suspicion. Early morning, the criminals were having breakfast together. Trickster was the latest to arrive. Brat, why did you only wake up now? Did you drink so little last night? One of them asked. I overslept. Trickster picked up a steam bun and put it near his mouth. Then he stole a glance at Big Brother Hai and asked, Boss, what are we going to do with those two kids? After we get the ransom, do we kill them, or? Chapter 2767. Why are you asking? Big Brother Hai raised his head and glanced at Trickster. I'm just asking. I have my own ideas on this matter. You don't have to worry about it. Big Brother, when should we make the call? Didn't the two brats give us their father's phone number? Leave it to me. I'm most willing to ask people for money. Ha! An unreliable subordinate took the initiative to raise his hand. Fuck off. You can't even speak clearly and you still want to ask the big boss for money. Big Brother Hai scolded. Hee hee. Right? Big Brother, how much money do we want? 1 billion? My God, I've never seen so much money in my life. How am I going to spend it? 1 billion? We have a total of 6 people here. The 5 of us only need 100 million each. Big Brother has taken care of us for the past few years and has contributed the most. Big Brother, you'll get 500 million. Do you have any objections? Another brother asked jokingly. Of course not. It's settled then. Big Brother, 500 million. The rest of us will get 100 million each. Big Brother Hai saw this scene, and to be honest, he wasn't excited. He suddenly thought of what the kids said last night. So much money. Do you have the life to spend it? Yes, sometimes having too much money wasn't a good thing. He was afraid that he would meet with unexpected disasters. Big Brother, what are you thinking about? You look troubled. It's nothing. After you guys finish eating, hurry up and get to work. 2 of you go and watch the 2 children. 2 of you go and watch the woman. And you, Crafty, go and stand guard at the door. Keep an eye on it and see if there's any movement outside. Don't let our nest be destroyed without us knowing. Okay. After breakfast, everyone dispersed. Big Brother Hai sat on a chair and closed his eyes to rest. When it came to deciding one's own fate, one would appear indecisive. Big Brother Hai himself was a small-time hooligan. Therefore, if he was asked to do a big business, he didn't have the confidence to do it well. He repeatedly thought about what the kids said last night. The brothers in front of him had been with him for a few years. They were all poor people in the nearby villages. It wasn't easy for them. If they weren't forced, no one would be willing to do this kind of shady business. On the other hand, he took the money and was being hunted down. He ran away with the name of a wanted criminal, which was shameful. Even if they left the country, it might not be heaven. A group of uncouth villagers would definitely not be used to living in a foreign country, especially the language. On the other hand, he could be a good person and call the child's father to pick him up. Then, he could accept the gift from the child's father. Of course, it sounded like the second option was better and safer. But the problem now was, how could he trust that child? She believed that when they returned, the child's parents would not turn hostile and send them to the police station. That was the key. The trust between people was actually very fragile on the other side. The explosives developed by Hwamin finally forced Hee Young-jun and Shinjiani out of hiding in the depths of the mountain. Hwamin's anesthetic was just right. They could not move, but they did not lose consciousness. Therefore, when the armed police soldiers escorted the two of them out, Shinjiani was surprised to see Hwamin. "We finally caught them. Bastard, you made me mobilize so many people. Everyone has worked hard." Gao Ran was gratified as he waved his hand at the soldiers who came to support this time. "Chief Gao, I'll hand them over to you now. You can directly escort them back." Platoon leader Zhang Bin said. "Okay, put them in the police car." Gao Ran waved his hand. "Wait a minute," Qin Chu suddenly said coldly. Chapter 2768. Everyone turned around and saw Qin Chu walk out from behind Gao Ran. Qin Chu's jacket had been draped over Hwamin's shoulders, so Mr. Qin was only wearing a clean white shirt. Under the morning sunlight, his shirt was especially clear and bright. Qin Chu walked towards Hee Young-jun without a word. When he was right in front of Hee Young-jun, he punched Hee Young-jun's abdomen without warning. Hee Young-jun groaned, but it was obvious from his expression that he was in pain. "Qin Chu, what kind of ability are you? You even used the armed police to catch me. Ha! I really looked down on you." "So? What?" Qin Chu glanced at Hee Young-jun's ferocious face indifferently. "Do you dare to fight me one-on-one?" Hee Young-jun licked his lips and asked provocatively. "With you?" Qin Chu curled his lips in disdain. "What? You don't dare?" Hee Young-jun continued to provoke him. "Are you sure?" Qin Chu asked back. "Of course. If you're a man, don't ask for help. Fight me one-on-one. We'll fight barehanded. If you lose, you let us go. Do you dare? What if you lose?" Qin Chu looked at Hee Young-jun. "Then I'll let you do whatever you want of me." Qin Chu, don't listen to him. What kind of bullshit bet is this? He has no right to negotiate. He's just an evil criminal. Go back to jail and eat cornbread. Gao Ran didn't want Qin Chu and Hee Young-jun to fight. If Qin Chu lost, Hee Young-jun would run away. Then, all their efforts would be for nothing. If Qin Chu won and Hee Young-jun said he could do whatever he wanted to him, what else could he do? Now that they had him, they could do whatever they wanted to him. Why would they risk fighting him? "It's okay. I'm interested. One-on-one, right? Come on." Mr. Qin slowly rolled up the sleeves of his white shirt and beckoned to Hee Young-jun with his finger. "Qin Chu." Gao Ran seemed to want to persuade him. "Let him go. Let him come here." Qin Chu seemed to have given Gao Ran an order that could not be disobeyed. Growing up together, he knew his temper too well. Gao Ran only waved his hand to signal the two policemen to let go of Hee Young-jun. Platoon leader Zhang Bin had originally wanted to leave with his men, but after seeing this good show, he actually wanted to stay and watch this duel. "Qin Chu, you really are a real man," Hee Young-jun said with some admiration. "Cut the crap. Come." Qin Chu coldly glanced at Hee Young-jun. Hwamin stood beside Gao Ran with a cup of hot water in her hand. Inside the cup was the hot water that Qin Chu had boiled for her in the morning. "Hwamin, I think you should control your husband. He's too stubborn. I know what he wants to do. Let him do it. That's what I want." Hwamin's gaze was fixed on Qin Chu's figure. "Okay, you two are the best in the world." In the end, Gao Ran was convinced and didn't say anything else. Hwamin had confidence in Mr. Qin. Not to mention a piece of trash like Hee Young-jun. Even Hwasi Qian and Suyu would be able to fight Qin Chu one-on-one. Hwamin also felt that her husband wouldn't lose. This was a strong trust. Hee Young-jun rushed over like a mad dog for his freedom. He had to use all his strength to defeat Qin Chu. With the mentality of burning all his boats, he rushed forward. Every move he made was deadly. On the other hand, Qin Chu's face was calm. He countered every move that came his way. First, he focused on defense, allowing Hee Young-jun to continuously attack. Chapter 2769. Huh? What's wrong with Chu? Why isn't he fighting back? Gao Ran was very anxious and kept muttering to himself. Huamin, tell me, what's your husband doing? Have you ever seen a cat kill a mouse in one bite? Most of them don't play for a while first. Huamin's example was very appropriate. Ha, I get it now. This guy is the blackest of black-bellied. Gao Ran suddenly realized. These few days, the disappearance of the twins had caused a lot of chaos in everyone's lives. Gao Ran hadn't slept well in a long time. Although someone brought him food, he still didn't have much of an appetite. Especially his brat, Gao Buyan, who was pulling a long face and didn't seem to be smiling at all. Now that the twins were back, everything was fine. The sky was clear after the storm. Seeing that He Yongjun had used up most of his strength, Qin Shu began to switch from defense to offense. He Yongjun was able to dodge at first, but later on, his footsteps were obviously weak and he couldn't move as much as he wanted to. Big Brother Jun, be careful. Shinjiani was still hoping that He Yongjun could beat Qin Shu. With Qin Shu's identity, he definitely kept his word, so she wanted to run away with He Yongjun. But how could things be so simple in this world? After a few hits, He Yongjun couldn't take it anymore. He knelt down on one knee and was beaten to a pulp by Qin Shu. This guy is so strong. The surrounding armed police couldn't help but exclaim. Platoon leader, can you tell what kind of move he is using? Is it karate? Someone asked platoon leader Zhang Bin. Zhang Bin shook his head. It doesn't look like it. It looks more like the deadly combat skills that the U.S. Navy SEALs use during their special training. Wow, so strong. Looks like there's no suspense in this match. It's obviously a one-sided abuse of that scumbag. Everyone couldn't help but applaud Qin Shu's skills. Qin Shu's personality was very slow and calm. It was rare to see him get angry over something and take action personally. Even Gao Ran, who had been his buddy for so many years, had only seen a few of them. Gao Ran vaguely remembered that when they were in school, Qin Shu had fought for Huamin. At that time, some girls were jealous, so they found gangsters outside the school to rob Huamin and ruin her face. In the end, Qin Shu happened to pass by and helped Huamin. Two people, each holding a table leg, were fighting with 7 or 8 people on the other side. In the end, the two of them only suffered minor injuries, while the other party was in a terrible state. This incident caused quite a stir in the school at the time. Then, for years ago, when Qin Shu returned to the country, the pregnant woman's family sent people to cause trouble at the hospital in order to blackmail Huamin. Qin Shu was furious. He tore off his tie, barged into the detention room, and beat him up. This time, Qin Shu beat this scumbag to the brink of death for his daughter. Stop it, you bastard, let him go. I'm going to sue you. Even if we're suspects, we have human rights. You can't do this. Shun Jianni's voice was hoarse from all the shouting, but no one cared about her. In the end, Qin Shu let out a sigh of relief. He stood up, took out a dagger, and threw it at He Yongjun's hand. Come, fulfill your promise. Qin Shu's tone was extremely cold. Big Brother Jun, don't. Shun Jianni screamed. Huamin looked at all of this indifferently. She didn't feel any pity for scumbags who kidnapped her child. They deserved it. He Yongjun's face was covered in blood. He was lying on the ground, barely breathing. He supported himself and slowly picked up the dagger. Chapter 2770. He used all his strength to pick up the knife, but he suddenly changed direction and stabbed at Qin Shu. Ah, go to hell. He Yongjun rushed over with all his might, as if he had gone mad. Be careful, honey. Huamin was also scared out of her wits. Unexpectedly, Qin Shu was very calm. He pulled He Yongjun's hair and punched him in the stomach. This time, he used a lot of strength. After swaying a few times, He Yongjun fell to the ground with a thud. Qin Shu walked over, raised his foot, and stepped on his wrist. Coward, since you don't dare to do it yourself. Then, I'll do it for you. After saying that, Qin Shu pulled out the dagger, raised his hand, and stabbed it directly into He Yongjun's thigh. He let out a howl like a pig being slaughtered. Shu, that's enough. Leave the rest to us. Gao Ran stepped in at the appropriate time. He felt that Qin Shu had vented his anger. He couldn't kill him in front of so many people, right? Even if he was a vicious criminal, he had to be punished by the law. Qin Shu naturally understood what Gao Ran meant, so he stood up slightly. Huamin quickly took out a white wet wipe from her bag and handed it to Qin Shu. He wiped the blood off his hand. At this moment, Qin Shu's phone rang. It was an unknown number. He frowned slightly and picked up the call. Mr. Qin Shu, right? Yes. Hearing the voice of an unknown man on the other end, Qin Shu felt that this call was related to his daughters. Sure enough, that person said again, I know where your two daughters are. Where are they? After Qin Shu hung up the phone, his expression was still as calm as water. He picked up his phone and called Su Yu and gave him an address. Then he looked at Gao Ran. You guys escort these two people back first. Lend me the helicopter. Are you going to Qinghe town? Gao Ran seemed to understand Qin Shu's thoughts. Yes. There's news about the twins. Gao Ran was overjoyed. Qin Shu nodded. All right, then hurry up and go. We'll take the police car back. Don't forget to let us know when you pick up the child safely. In this way, Gao Ran and Qin Shu parted at the foot of the mountain. Huamin didn't forget to walk over gratefully. He looked at platoon leader Zhang Bin and bowed. Hey, Vice Dean Hua, don't be like this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your hard work today. When my daughter comes home safely, I will definitely come here to visit everyone if I have the chance. Thank you. After that, Qin Shu and Huamin boarded the helicopter and left. Hubby, who called just now? Probably because he's a kidnapper. Huh? Did they say how much ransom they wanted? Huamin was surprised. No, they seem to have changed their mind. They gave me the address directly and asked me to pick up the child. Su Yu is closer, so I asked him to bring some people over first. It's not a trap, right? Huamin felt uneasy. During this period of time, she had been tortured to the point of being paranoid. She couldn't even sleep well. As long as she closed her eyes, she would see the two children's voices and smiles. Don't worry, it won't happen. Qin Shu hugged Huamin tightly in his arms and comforted her softly. Qinghe Town mountain range. After receiving Qin Shu's call, Su Yu and Tang Xuan brought the local police there. Big brother, bad news. The police are here. Have we been exposed? Trickster, who was guarding the door, was scared out of his wits. Big brother Hai walked out to greet them calmly. When he saw Su Yu, he glanced at him and asked, Are you the child's father? Cut the crap. Where are the two children? Su Yu couldn't help but have the urge to kill. His words were very harsh. Chapter 2771. Huh? How dare you talk to my big brother like that? Trickster saw how arrogant the man in the lead was. Immediately, he felt that he had lost face. The most important thing for these hooligans was face. Trickster felt that Big Brother Hai had been seriously insulted, so he recklessly rushed up to Su Yu and reached out his hand. Before his fist could touch Su Yu, a pistol was already pressed against his temple, and his expression was very calm. The silver pistol in his hand was as cold as his personality. It was a piece of cake for an outstanding bodyguard like Xiao and a deal with such a mob. Huh, big brother, let's talk nicely. Trickster's expression immediately changed. Who the hell wants to talk to you? Hurry up and give me the children, or I'll kill one every second. Su Yu had a bad temper to begin with. Over the years, he had restrained himself a lot because ever since he fell in love with Huamin, his personality had become gentler. But that didn't mean that it was gone. After all, the lion's nature was still there. He doted on the twins so much. Now that he saw these kidnappers, his heart burned with anger. Hurry, bring the children out. Big Brother Hai saw that this person wasn't a good person, so he didn't dare to ask if he was the father of the children. He quickly asked his subordinates to bring the twins out. When Little Bean and Pudding came out, they jogged all the way out in excitement. They knew that someone must have come to pick them up. Sis, look, it's handsome Su. From afar, Little Bean was extremely excited when she saw Su Yu. She raised her chubby little hand and pointed at Su Yu. I see him. Pudding was still very calm. The sisters quickly ran over and rushed into Su Yu's arms. Handsome Su, I missed you so much. Boo-hoo, I thought I would never see you again. Little Bean was more emotional, so it was inevitable that she would cry in such a situation. Pudding thought that she could hold it in, but the moment she threw herself into Su Yu's arms, she couldn't hold it in and burst into tears. However, she didn't make as much of a commotion as Little Bean. She just cried silently. Su Yu was affected by the two children. His eyes also turned red, but he was a man. He couldn't cry in front of so many people, right? So Yu lifted his head and hugged the twins tightly. It's okay. It's all in the past now. Don't be afraid. I'm sorry, Uncle Su came late. Yu blamed himself. Why couldn't they find the child sooner? Not at all. You came just in time. Little Bean hugged Yu's neck coquettishly. Handsome Su, did you get a call? Pudding asked. Your father called me and told me the address to pick you up. Where are my daddy and mommy? Little Bean asked as she looked around for them. They have taken care of some matters in Peach Blossom Town and are on their way here. They will probably arrive soon. Yu said, Handsome Su, did you miss me? Little Bean rubbed the tip of her nose against Yu's face. Yu didn't mind and smiled kindly. Yes, I miss you every day. And did you miss me more or my sister more? Little Bean asked. Again. Yu would panic every time he encountered such a problem. Chin moo moo, that's enough. Is this the time to joke? Pudding rolled her eyes at her. Pudding, Little Bean, you two only have eyes for Handsome Su, don't you? Qi Ning walked out from behind the police with Tang Chuan by her side. Chapter 2772. Wow, Auntie. Little Bean was good at flattery. Seeing Qi Ning come over, she immediately left Su Yu's arms and hugged Qi Ning's leg. Auntie, I missed you so much. Really? Qi Ning asked deliberately. Of course. Did you miss me more or your Handsome Su more? Qi Ning purposely put Little Bean in a difficult position. The same. Hee hee. Little Bean's reaction was very fast. Little brat, you're smart. Are you hurt? Qi Ning looked at the two kids with heartache. They had been kidnapped for a few days, but they were still wearing the same clothes they were wearing the day they disappeared. They were dirty and their hair was messy. They didn't look like a proud little princess at all. Are you hurt? Yes. Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? Qi Ning was afraid that the two kids would be hurt, so she hurriedly checked their wounds. No, Annie. That big bad guy accidentally pushed me, and I hit my head. But it's fine now. Little Bean touched her head. Qi Ning's heart ached as she checked her wounds. Don't worry. That big bad guy's been caught. Why get back? I'll avenge you. Qi Ning received a call from Huamin saying that Yongjun and Shun Jiani had been caught. So, Qi Ning felt that when she got back, she would definitely make those two pay. Yes, I must avenge them. I'm going to feed that big bad guy shit and drink dog urine. I'm going to put firecrackers on his ass and blow them up. Thinking of the two people who kidnapped her, Little Bean was furious. However, she was still a kid and her words were very childish. Everyone didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Pudding, where's that bitch Zhang Manlin? Where's she? I'm going to tear her apart. So you asked Pudding. Ever since he found out that the twins were kidnapped by Zhang Manlin, so you couldn't sleep at night. He wanted to tear Zhang Manlin into pieces. After hearing this, Pudding leaned over and whispered something in Su Yu's ear. After hearing this, Su Yu's expression changed slightly. Not far away, other than Big Brother Hai, his subordinates were all dumbfounded. Big Brother, what's going on? Didn't we ask for ransom? Why did you give her to them? Didn't we? The men were dumbfounded. I've changed my mind. I've chosen another path, Big Brother Hai said calmly. What path? Trickster turned to look at Big Brother Hai. In order for everyone to have a peaceful life for the rest of their lives, I made a deal with the kid. I took the initiative to call their father and asked him to come and pick up the kid. When the time comes, the kid's father will reward us. We are not wanted criminals. We are just good people who saved the kid from the kidnappers. Big Brother Hai had said a lot. In fact, it could be summed up in one sentence, which was to clear his name. What? Big Brother, are you confused? How can you believe the words of a 3-year-old child? What if we get caught? Who are we going to ask for justice? Several men looked at their elder brother in despair. They didn't understand. Why would a man in his 30s believe in a child? It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. It's too late now. We can only believe it. We have no way out now. Big Brother Hai emphasized. When Su Yu came, there were a lot of police officers behind him. All of them had guns. If he wanted to kill them, it would be a matter of minutes. So, now they could only wait and see if the kid who negotiated with him would fulfill her promise. At this moment, the roar of the helicopter was deafening. Everyone looked up at the sky. An army green helicopter slowly landed. Qin Shu held Huamin's hand and got off the helicopter under everyone's gaze. Chapter 2773. Oh my God, Daddy and Mommy are so handsome. Little Bean gave Huamin and Qin Shu a halo. Maybe it was because she hadn't seen them for a few days, but it felt like a century had passed. My children. Huamin's eyes became wet the moment she saw the twins. She hurried over and squatted down. Little Bean ran like crazy, but before she could reach Huamin, Pudding pulled her back. Calm down, Little Bean. Mommy can't hug you. Pudding was much more rational and knew that Mommy couldn't hug them because she was pregnant. Oh, I remember now. Mommy's pregnant. Little Bean almost spilled the beans. Damn right. Mommy misses us so much, so she's very emotional. We have to calm down and don't make her cry. Pudding tried to smooth things over. Yes. Mommy, don't cry. Sis and I are fine. We're safe. Little Bean comforted Huamin. However, Huamian was so emotional that she couldn't stop her tears from rolling down her cheeks like a broken string of pearls. She hugged her two daughters tightly and refused to let go. Qin Shu looked at the woman and the two children tenderly, and the huge rock in his heart finally fell to the ground. Daddy, I missed you so much, Little Bean said coquettishly to her mommy, and then threw herself at Qin Shu. Qin Shu picked up Little Bean and Pudding, one in each hand. He was so manly. Daddy missed you too. It's okay now. He comforted the two children gently. From afar, everyone saw the twins leaning on their father's shoulders intimately. But in fact, they did something else secretly. After a while, the twins got off Qin Shu, and Qin Shu walked toward the bandits. A few of them were so scared that they retreated, thinking that Qin Shu was going to take revenge. Who's Jiang Dahai? Qin Shu asked. I am. The bearded man stepped forward. The person who called me was you? Qin Shu sized up the man in front of him. He was really just a vulgar man. It's me. My daughter has been with you for the past 2 days. Yes, it's always been with us. The bearded man didn't know what the man wanted to do, so he was very uncertain. After all, who would believe his agreement with Kid? If this family turned against them, they would all go to jail. Very good. We will definitely fulfill the agreement between my daughter and you. She can completely represent me. Qin Shu looked at him and said. When Big Beard heard this, he immediately let out a sigh of relief. Then, he pretended to be calm and nodded. Okay, big brother, what's your agreement? One of the lackeys behind him asked. The bearded man was so nervous that he seemed to have forgotten what he had discussed with Little Bean. He also forgot how much money she wanted. He even forgot about buying a house and a car. Find a job for each of us, the bearded man blurted out. Yes, the deepest impression he had was that Little Bean told him that it was better to teach a man to fish than to give him a fish. So, he only remembered to find a job. The lackeys behind him almost vomited blood when they heard this. He thought to himself, is boss stupid? He let go of someone else's child, and all he wants is to find a job for him? At this moment, Qin Shu added, since you forgot, I'll say it for you. The bandits behind him immediately locked their eyes on Qin Shu, this man who looked as handsome as a god. Chapter 2774. My daughter must have promised you that you and your buddies would each get a house of more than 100 square meters and a mid-level car in Sea City. She would also find you a stable job. Yes, that's what happened. Hearing Qin Shu's words, Big Brother Hai immediately remembered. A house, a car. Fuck. A house in Sea City is very expensive. A house of 100 square meters would cost millions. Big Brother Hai's men were dumbfounded. After all, they were from the mountains and had never seen much of the world. To them, Sea City was a bustling metropolis. It was like heaven. Since my daughters didn't have any external injuries, and although they were in prison here for 2 days, they weren't abused, so I've decided to give each of you an extra $1 million in cash. 1 million? Cash. Big Brother Hai was also dumbfounded. He didn't expect to make a profit, but it will be difficult to find a job. After all, you guys don't have a degree or any special skills. Qin Shu pondered. That's not necessary, Mr. Qin. I think we can slowly find a job on our own. Thinking that he would soon have a house, a car, and 1 million in cash, Big Brother Hai wondered why he was in such a hurry to find a job. But my daughter is right. You don't have any skills. If you still can't find a job after squandering your savings, how about this? You can go back to my company for training and then work in the security department as a security guard. Our group salary is 6,000 a month. Although it's not very high, it's relatively stable and safe. You can think about it yourself. If you don't want to, I won't force you, but I will definitely fulfill all the conditions my daughter promised you. Thank you, Mr. Qin. We'll discuss this matter later. Oh, and before that, Big Brother Hai was very worried that he would be wanted by the police because of his previous crimes. I'll take care of that for you. Don't worry, but I want to emphasize that if you guys do anything illegal in the future, I won't interfere. Yes. We definitely won't. Who would want to break the law when they have money? Big Brother Hai was overjoyed. He didn't expect his verbal promise to his children to be fulfilled. Plus, he had an extra 1 million in cash. He was overjoyed. Okay, that's all. Where's that woman? Let her out. Qin Shu didn't forget about Zhang Manlin's importance. She's also a victim. She was also captured by us. Please don't hurt her. Trickster was more impatient. Because of their brief relationship as husband and wife, he was especially worried about Zhang Manlin's situation. Qin Shu glanced at her indifferently, but didn't say anything. Go, bring that woman here, Big Brother Hai ordered. When Zhang Manlin was brought out, she was calm at first. When they saw Qin Shu and so many people behind Qin Shu, they completely panicked. At this moment, Pudding and Little Bean approached Zhang Manlin. Zhang Manlin's face turned pale with fright. Daddy, it's all thanks to Miss Zhang this time. She was kind enough to save us from those 2 bad guys, so you have to thank her properly, Pudding said. Yeah, Daddy, Miss Zhang is a nice person. We misunderstood her before, Little Bean agreed. Qin Shu walked over and glanced at Zhang Manlin, but didn't say anything. Zhang Manlin was extremely nervous. She didn't dare to look into Qin Shu's eyes. But after hearing what the twins said, she was confused. Why would they say that? Chapter 2775. I heard that you were the one who saved my daughters from He Yongjun and Shun Jiani. Qin Shu questioned coldly. Yes, I didn't do it on purpose. I just happened to run into them, Zhang Manlin quickly explained. Oh, then the police must have misunderstood and thought that you kidnapped my daughters, Qin Shu said deliberately. Zhang Manlin shook her head. No, I'm not. Zhang Manlin shook her head. No, it's not like that. I'm not a bad person. President Qin, we've known each other for a long time. You should know what kind of person I am. How could I do something like this to you? If my car didn't break down and I couldn't turn on my phone, I would have called you a long time ago to inform you. But, my phone was bugged by his people. I didn't dare to do that because I was afraid that he would know where we were first. That would be bad for Little Bean and Pudding. Zhang Manlin wasn't that stupid. Zhang Manlin wasn't stupid at all. Seeing that there was still room for negotiation, she immediately came up with an excuse. Qin Shu knew that she was talking about Hua Xiqian, so he wasn't surprised. Oh, I see. Then I'll ask the police to remove your arrest warrant, Qin Shu said. Zhang Manlin was overjoyed. Thank you, President Qin, for clearing my name. My daughter said that she promised you something, right? Qin Shu asked again. Zhang Manlin didn't dare to answer directly. Instead, she looked at Pudding, who was standing behind Qin Shu. When they first met, Zhang Manlin and Pudding did talk about a deal, but that was in the past. Pudding saw that Zhang Manlin didn't dare to answer, so she walked over and held her daddy's hand. She said innocently, Daddy, it's true. You've taught us, since we were young, that we can't be ungrateful. At that time, I told Miss Zhang that we'd let bygones be bygones. As long as she could find a way to get us out, I would grant her one wish. Oh, so, Miss Zhang, what wish do you have? Qin Shu glanced at Zhang Manlin's face coldly. Zhang Manlin looked guiltily at Huan Mian, who wasn't far away. She knew that Huamin was not someone to be trifled with. Fortunately, Huamin was wiping Little Bean's face with a handkerchief and wasn't paying attention to their conversation. So, Zhang Manlin said in a low voice, "Actually, I'm not asking for anything in return. You know, I've wanted to leave him for a long time. No one wants to be controlled for the rest of their lives. After all, I'm not a toy. So, I want to go to GK headquarters and be your assistant. That way, he won't dare to touch me easily. After all, he's still wary of the people around you." Zhang Manlin revealed her selfishness in a roundabout way and even made Huasiqian take the blame for her. "Daddy, what do you think? It's not hard, right?" Pudding looked up at her father and smiled. "Since my daughter promised you, I will keep my word. After we go back, you can come and work at GK. Really? Is it okay to go back this time?" Zhang Manlin was flattered. "Yes." Then, Qin Shu turned around and left without another word. Pudding glanced at Zhang Manlin and said, "No matter what, it was because of you that we were able to escape from those two crazy kidnappers. So, I plan to give you the money according to the previous conditions. Don't be a spy for the big bad guy anymore. Be a good person," Pudding said seriously. Pudding was serious. Zhang Manlin didn't doubt anything at all. She just thought that she was a child and got lucky this time. On the way back in the helicopter, Qin Shu received a call from Gao Ran. "Chu, I just had a situation." Gao Ran's tone was serious. Chapter 2776. Upon hearing this, Qin Shu frowned slightly. "What's going on?" Qin Shu wondered if Yongjun and the others had run away. If so, then Gao Ran's position as the bureau chief would be wasted. He spent so much effort to catch them. If they ran away, then wouldn't everyone be busy? Yongjun, he just now? Gao Ran deliberately stuttered. Upon hearing this, Qin Shu was very unhappy. "How is he?" Qin Shu continued to ask in a low voice, trying to be patient. "He's dead." "Haha, are you surprised?" After speaking, Gao Ran's tone changed, and he began to laugh loudly. Qin Shu was speechless. "Huh? Did you hear me, Chu?" Gao Ran saw that Qin Shu didn't respond, so he quickly asked, "Fuck off." Qin Shu was about to die from anger at Gao Ran. How old was he? As the bureau chief of the city bureau, how could he be so childish? However, as soon as Qin Shu hung up, he shamelessly called again. "You want to die, don't you?" Qin Shu yelled at him. "Haha, I'll stop messing around. I'm just reporting that while we were escorting Yongjun, he lost too much blood and is now brain dead." "Got it." Qin Shu's reaction was very indifferent, because this was within his expectations. Even if Yongjun was lucky and didn't die, he would definitely find a way to kill him. The person who hurt his daughter must not be allowed to live. This was the most important thing a father should do to protect his daughter. "By the way, your last stab was really vicious. It directly pierced through his aorta. He must have a strong will to be able to hold on until now. Damn, he even yelled at me in the car and asked me to send him to the hospital. If it weren't for the legal process, I would have sent him to the crematorium. I was just defending myself," Qin Shu said proudly. Yes. You're so black-bellied. I was just thinking, how could a person like you be willing to fight one-on-one with someone like Yongjun? Ha! Now I realize that your scheme is really deep. What a big game of chess. So you deliberately baited him. Then you knew that he couldn't beat you and would definitely use some tricks. So when he took out his knife to stab you, you didn't hesitate to attack. Smart, really smart. Cut the crap. Is there anything else? Qin Shu suddenly felt that Gao Ran had become a little slow. It wasn't easy for him to think of a happy time with his wife and children, but this guy kept nagging. Yes, I haven't asked you yet. What's the situation over there? Gao Ran asked. It's all over. Are the children all right? Gao Ran asked with concern. Yes. Where's my daughter-in-law? How are you feeling? Gao Ran asked jokingly. Mr. Qin even glanced at Little Bean, who was beside him, as he held the phone. She's in a good mood. She's eating strawberry cake, Qin Shu said. Ha! No wonder she's my daughter-in-law. She's so generous. She's still in the mood to eat. Gao Ran laughed. Okay, I'm hanging up. Qin Shu felt that Gao Ran's last words were all nonsense. The only important news was that He Yongjun was dead. This was very good news. Honey, what's up? Huamin heard the conversation between Qin Shu and Gao Ran and understood something. He Yongjun is dead. Dead? When? Huamian's face was also calm. Just a few minutes ago. Based on the time, his aorta was bleeding too much. He should have died a long time ago. He's quite strong. What about Shunjiani? What are you going to do with her? Huamin asked. Chapter 2777. Leave it to me. Don't worry. Qin Shu placed his hand on Huamin's. Huamin nodded. She hugged her two daughters the whole way back, unwilling to let go. No one knew how precious it was to get back what you lost. On about Zhang. Qin Shu was about to explain. I know. Huamin smiled slightly. Daddy, do you still need to explain? It's not like you don't know how high Mommy's IQ is. Little Bean looked at her daddy with disdain. Okay, I was overthinking it. Mr. Qin smiled, a smile that hadn't appeared on his face in a long time. He only gave this gentleness to his wife and daughter. The night the twins came back, South Hill Manor was very lively. Gao Ran brought his wife and son. Wei Liao brought his wife and son. Tang Chuan, Qin Ning, Huamin's mother, Zhixin's little brother, Zhixin's rumored girlfriend, Bella, Suyu's parents, Suyu's grandfather, and Ai Yang, and Ai Yang's wife, Chenjia. With so many people, the entire South Hill Manor was in an uproar. Qin Shu secretly turned on the shielding mode, causing all of Hua Xiqian's listening devices to malfunction. Kaiwe, the spy, was also sent away. Everyone relaxed. The twins' disappearance almost caused old Master Qin's old illness to act up and send him to the hospital. If something really happened to his granddaughters, he really wouldn't be able to live. It was no longer cold in the north in May. The temperature had warmed up, and peach blossoms were everywhere. On the lawn in front of South Hill Manor, everyone had a great time eating a combination of barbecue and Western food. The Qin family's personal chef and Suyu's personal chef worked together to make a scrumptious dinner for everyone. The twins were like happy children running around in their princess dresses. Huamian's heart was filled with emotions as she watched the happy scene. When she got up to get everyone drinks, she stood by the pool and zoned out. Are you thinking about Yin? Qin Shu hugged her slender waist from behind. He rested his chin on her thin shoulders. You are indeed my man. You know me well. Huamin did not turn around. She just gently pressed her face against Qin Shu's face. The couple enjoyed this peaceful moment. It'll be over soon. I'm sure you'll be reunited with the professor and Lu Yin. Qin Shu comforted her. Yeah, I also hope that everything will be over soon. If this continues for the rest of the afternoon, I might really die, Huamin joked. Don't talk nonsense. My Mian must live a long life. Then you'll have to live a long life. Otherwise, I'll be alone in this world. Of course, if you live to 100, I'll live to 101. You leave before me. After I take care of everything, I'll go find you. Qin Shu teased her. We don't have enough beer. Lord Su, go over there and get some. I don't believe I can't beat Old Wei today. Tang Chuan was very drunk. Suyu got up and walked over to the pool. Just as he was about to step out, he saw Qin Shu and Huamian being lovey-dovey. He stopped in his tracks, a little disappointed. Did you hurt your heart? A crisp voice came from behind him. Suyu turned around and saw Pudding standing behind him with a jollots in her hand. She looked calm. Ahem, what are you talking about? Hurt my heart. I'm just here to get the beer. Why don't you go get it? Pudding asked. Your daddy and mommy are being intimate. How could I interrupt them? So you found it hard to say. What are you afraid of? I'll take you there. Then, Pudding pulled on Suyu's sleeve and led him inside. Hey, Pudding, don't go. Come back. Suyu was scared and kept saying no. Chapter 2778. What are you afraid of? Don't be so shy. Pudding emphasized. Suyu was speechless. Daddy, Mommy, sorry to disturb you. We're here to get beer, Pudding said. Qin Shu and Huamin turned their heads and saw Suyu. Qin Shu let go of Huamin without a trace. Ahem, I'm sorry to disturb you. Su looked embarrassed. Lord Su, why didn't you drink with them? Min asked with a smile. Me? I can't. I'm not feeling well these days. That little bastard Tang Chuan can drink too much. I can't beat them. Su laughed. Min, Qin Shu, come back. Don't run. We're not going home until we're drunk. Jiang Xiaowei and Zhu Lingling were in high spirits. They kept yelling. Min had no choice but to go back with Qin Shu with a smile. The elders had finished eating early and were drinking tea and chatting in the mansion. The rest of the young people were so full of themselves. Little Bean took Wei Yunshu and Gao Buyuan to eat. Gao Buyuan held a grilled pig trotter in one hand and a grilled chicken foot in the other. Is it good? Little Bean asked. Yes, it's good. Gao Buyuan's mouth was greasy as he spoke, looking extremely cute. Huh, if you like it, you can come here often. My barbecue chef is great. Little Bean was full of pride. Okay, Yunshu, are you full? Little Bean turned around and looked at Wei Yunshu, who was holding a tofu skewer in a daze. Ah, I can't eat anymore, Wei Yunshu said. Humph, he's not full. He just misses pudding, Gao Buyuan said. Don't talk nonsense. Wei Yunshu immediately retorted with a red face. Little Bean immediately comforted Wei Yunshu. Don't worry, my sister can't run away. She went to comfort handsome Su and will be back soon. Hey, does Pudding like Uncle Su? Why do I feel like they have something in common? Gao Buyuan guessed. What do you know? Big Sis loves handsome Su. Big Sis and I love handsome Su as much as we love Daddy. Do you understand? Little Bean lectured Gao Buyuan. Not really. Gao Buyuan shook his head. It's okay if you don't understand. You're still young. You'll understand in the future. Good girl. All right, where was I? Little Bean paused and tried to recall. Speaking of which, did you negotiate with the bearded man alone? Gao Buyuan answered obediently. That's right. Speaking of which, I stood up and negotiated with the bandit leader on my own. Little Bean began to brag again. However, Gao Buyuan was so engrossed in her words that he looked at her with admiration. Pudding and Su sat at the edge of the pool, looking at the stars and chatting. Handsome Su. Yeah? Were you scared out of your wits when Little Bean and I went missing? Pudding asked. Do you have to ask? You scare me to death. If I had a heart attack, it would be because of you too, Su said half-jokingly. Then, if the two of us really die this time, will you remember us? No. When you two were born, my grandpa, your great-grandpa, went to have your fortune told. My grandpa is very superstitious and asked an eminent monk in a temple to tell him your fortune. Oh? What did the eminent monk say? Pudding tilted her head and looked at Su curiously. The eminent monk said. Su paused purposely. Not only was he trying to sell the case, but Pudding was also anxious and couldn't remain calm. Hey, handsome Su, hurry up and tell us, she urged. Chapter 2779. The monk said that you two saved the galaxy in your last life, so you were reincarnated here as your mother's daughters. Su chuckled. Humph, I can tell the monk didn't say that. Pudding pouted. Huh, I'll stop teasing you. The monk said that you two are the reincarnation of lucky stars and will bring good luck to everyone around you. Really? This time, Pudding was almost convinced. Of course. Why would I lie to you? Handsome Su, to be honest, I thought Little Bean and I were dead for sure. That man, He Yongjun, is an outlaw. He injured Little Bean's head, and I tried my best to force him to take Little Bean to the doctor. At that time, I wished I could grow up and beat him up when I had the chance. So, you two must learn karate or something. Otherwise, you won't be able to fight back when you meet bad guys. Yeah, but we have to grow up. We're so old now. No matter how good we are, we can't do it. Pudding sighed slightly. She deeply felt that she was powerless. Pudding, you're already great. You and Little Bean have been through so much. If it were other kids, they would have been scared to tears. But you two could still negotiate with the bandits calmly, so you praised her. It's nothing. I just regret not taking Little Bean away earlier. We were trapped for days, and Little Bean lost 2 pounds, Pudding said with heartache. Ah, Little Bean eats a lot, and you always scold her. Now you feel bad for her? Suyu laughed. That's different. She's my sister. If I say she can, no one else can, Pudding said domineeringly. Yeah, you look like your mom. Suyu thought Pudding had a lot of Huamin in her. Handsome Su, I heard. You and Lingshan are very close. Pooh, who did you hear that from? Is it that blabbermouth Tang Chuan? Su didn't know whether to laugh or cry. They said they saw Lingshan coming out of your mansion when they went to look for you in the middle of the night. What's going on? Are you looking for actresses again? Ahem. Don't think that your Uncle Su is so desperate, okay? So you almost choked. Lingshan is a good girl. Compared to the actresses in your company, she's more reliable. Plus, she's Annie Cece's older sister. So Little Bean and I talked about it. If you really want to date Lingshan, we'll support you. After all, Handsome Su, you're a grown-up and need a girlfriend. No, she's really not my type. She's a nice girl, but if I don't have feelings for her, I can't hold her back. Suyu flatly refused. It was obvious that everyone thought highly of Lingshan, but Suyu didn't like her at all. Handsome Su, my mommy may never be with you. I hope you don't waste your time on her. I know, kiddo. You don't have to remind me. Suyu smiled awkwardly. Did you know that my mommy is pregnant with a second child? We're going to have a new member of our family. Pudding decided to tell Suyu about it. Yeah, I know. To her surprise, Suyu had found out a few days ago. You already know? Pudding was surprised. Your daddy is the only one in the world who doesn't know. Suyu smiled gently. Yeah, maybe mommy wants to give him a surprise. If daddy knows that mommy is pregnant, he'll be so happy, Pudding said. Pudding, do you want a mommy to give birth to a younger brother or a younger sister? Suyu asked curiously. Chapter 2780. A younger brother? Why? Suyu asked. Because I have a younger sister. Little Bean and I are both girls. If we have a boy, we'll have both a son and a daughter. Pudding was very thoughtful. You're a little adult. Suyu knocked Little Bean's head lovingly. What about you, Handsome Su? Do you like boys or girls? Pudding asked. Me? I'm fine with either. I don't have any concept. I thought all men would like to have a son. Huamian said. Ha, who said that? Look at your daddy and I. We're also very good to you and Little Bean. That's because we're girls. You don't have a choice. Pudding looked helpless. Ha ha. Pudding, you're getting more and more unreasonable. One adult and one child chatted happily by the pool like this. It was such a beautiful night, but someone was having a hard time. After Zhang Manlin came back, Qin Chu arranged for her to be sent to GK's staff dormitory. It was a very high-end dormitory. It was a 2-bedroom room. She and another girl each had a room. The other girl was a chatterbox. As soon as Zhang Manlin came in, she talked to her nonstop. As a result, she didn't have any personal space. She was happy to be able to become Qin Chu's assistant. However, when she came back, she had to report to Huasiqian. After all, he was her boss. However, there were surveillance cameras everywhere. They were all Qin Chu's people. She didn't have a chance. Her phone was also broken when she fell in the mountains. When she came back, she didn't even have a way to contact him. Zhang Manlin became more and more uneasy. Inside the mansion, boss, the twins came back safely. So did Zhang Manlin. Where is she? Huasiqian didn't seem to be in a good mood. After she came back, she went to GK's headquarters. We heard that. She's going to be Qin Chu's personal assistant. Personal assistant? Haha, she's really something. Huasiqian sneered. Boss, did that bitch Zhang Manlin betray us? Qing guessed. Huasiqian remained silent. You asked her to bring the child to us in Qinghe town, but our people were hiding there, and Su Yu and the police came. Don't you think it's strange? I don't believe it's a coincidence that we were robbed by bandits. I feel like Zhang Manlin's heart is no longer with us. Maybe she and Qin Chu have reached an agreement. I will get to the bottom of this. If that's really the case, then things will get interesting. You know how I deal with traitors. Huasiqian raised his head and gave Qing a strange smile. Boss, don't worry. If it's true, I'll definitely help you deal with her. Qing said, Is there any news about the people you captured? Huasiqian asked. The latest news is that the male suspect, Shun Jiani, is dead. He bled to death on the way back. That's what the police said, but we don't know how he died. What about Shun Jiani? Huasiqian asked. She's still alive. She's being taken back to the detention center of the city bureau. Huh. That bitch's good days are over. Boss, should we do it? No, we don't need to. Someone is more anxious than us. Huasiqian smiled. Inside the detention center of the city bureau, Yin walked in with a haggard face. She wore sunglasses and went to visit Shun Jiani, who was arrested. Yin, you have to save Mommy. Mommy doesn't want to go to jail. I don't want to die in jail. Shun Jiani burst into tears as soon as she saw Hua Yin. Chapter 2781. Hua Yin took off her sunglasses and threw them on the table. It was obvious that she was very angry. What did I tell you before? Did you listen to me? Well, Yin questioned. I was taking revenge for your brother. Huamin, that bitch, she deserves to die. Shun Jiani still didn't know how to repent. Instead, she continued to hate Huamin. If you want to take revenge, you have to look at yourself first. What you did was like hitting a rock with an egg. Yin, Mommy has nothing now. Your Uncle Jun is dead too. He died so tragically. I saw Qin Chu beat him to death with my own eyes. It seemed like Shun Jiani still had some feelings for He Yongjun. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so heartbroken. So what? Isn't it normal for Qin Chu to do that? If anyone kidnapped my children, I would fight them to the death. Plus, He Yongjun isn't a good person. You won't have a good ending if you hang out with someone like that. Hua Yin, I'm your mother. How can you talk to me like that? Shun Jiani was hysterical. It's because you're my mother that I'm willing to come and see you. Otherwise, do you think I'm willing to care about you? You just like see. You don't listen to me and do things your own way. Life wasn't that bad before, but now you've messed things up beyond redemption. Mom, you used to be very smart. I always thought that when we were young, you coaxed Dad to protect me and see while dealing with Jiang Hong and Huasiqian at the same time. What's wrong with you now? Have you gone senile? Don't you use your brain anymore? Hua Yin was also angry. She had thought of this from the beginning. Back then, she tried to persuade her mother not to touch the twins. But what happened in the end? Now that things had turned out this way, how is she going to clean up the mess? That's easy for you to say, but who's to blame for my current situation? It's all because of those two bastards, Huamin and Huasiqian. If they hadn't teamed up to bully me and force me to flee to Vietnam, I wouldn't have had to go through what happened after that. You probably don't know how difficult it was for C and I when we first arrived in Vietnam. We had no one to rely on. I was so poor that I was scared. I originally thought that after your Uncle Jun and I made a fortune, we would be able to escape to a faraway place. But who knew? Shun Jiani lowered her head and sobbed again. Don't you know whose child you kidnapped? You still want to run away? Why don't you go to heaven? Hua Yin was really angered to death by her mother. Yin, I'm your last family member in this world. You can't abandon me. I don't want to leave you and Tian. Shun Jiani saw that her daughter was really angry, so she didn't dare to talk back. She just wanted to use some bitter scenes to move her. Help you? How am I supposed to help you? Am I a god? Hua Yin turned her head and snorted angrily. You can't, but the Shun family can. After all, they're a prestigious family in this city. Shun Mingxi likes you so much, he definitely won't leave you in the lurch. Yin, Mommy is begging you, okay? I think I can push all the blame onto Big Brother Jun. Then, you can help me find a good lawyer, and we can appeal. Then, at most, I'll be sentenced to a few years as an accomplice. You can ask Shun Mingxi to use his connections to help me. Say that I'm not in good health and need to be released for medical treatment. That way, I can leave the country. At this moment, Shun Jiani was still daydreaming. Chapter 2782. Mom, it's not that simple. Do you think Qin Chu and Huamin will let you off the hook? Hua Yin looked at her mother helplessly. She didn't know if it was out of pity or anger. Didn't you say that Shun Mingxi and Suyu are good friends? Tell him to beg Suyu. Suyu's words carry a lot of weight in front of Qin Chu and Huamin. Shun Jiani was really good at making arrangements Hui Yin sneered. Are you kidding me? If Mingxi begs Su Yu, he'll be beaten half to death as soon as he opens his mouth. You might not know this, but last time when Mingxi was drunk, he accidentally said something bad about Huamin. Su Yu and Huamin broke off their relationship and haven't recovered yet. If you ask him to do this, you'll drag all of us down with you. Then what should we do? Are you not going to care about me? Shinjiani asked unhappily. I didn't say that I'm not going to care about you. I can only say that. I'll try my best. You know that my abilities are limited. Compared to Huamin and Huamin, I've always been weaker. God is blind. Back then, I was too soft-hearted. If I had just gotten someone to kill Yang Merong's child, Huamin wouldn't be here today. Shinjiani regretted not killing Yang Meirong when she was at the top of her game. She had fought with Yang Meirong many times and won every battle. She looked down on that woman so much. But now, that woman's child had climbed to the top of the pyramid. She didn't understand how Yang Meirong and Hua Zhenghai, with their low IQ, could give birth to a child like Huamin. She didn't have a chance to know that Huamin wasn't Yang Meirong and Hua Zhenghai's child, nor did she know the truth about the baby swap in Dongtao Town. What's the point of saying this now? Hui Yin was furious. Yin, bring Tian to visit me next time, okay? I miss her so much. Seeing that her daughter was indifferent, Shinjiani began to use her granddaughter to influence her. I'll see how it goes. I use my connections to bribe you this time. I don't even know if I'll be able to meet you next time. Yin, I'm sorry that I didn't take good care of you. If I die, can you bury me with your brother? In the end, Shinjiani said that she was miserable on purpose to make Hui Yin feel sad. Okay, that's enough. I'll think of something. Hui Yin turned around and left. In fact, she didn't know what to do. Her opponents were so strong that she couldn't deal with Hua Xiqian or Huamin. And this time, her mother was so resolute. Even if she kowtowed to Huamin, he would not forgive her. This was the truth. After thinking for a while, Hui Yin decided to take a gamble and see if she could make a move on Shun Mingxi. Then, Yin drove to the supermarket to buy groceries. At night, Shun Mingxi came back from work and smelled the aroma of food as soon as he entered the house. Uncle Shun, you're off work? Tian ran over and held Shun Mingxi's hand. Yeah. You're back, just in time to eat. Well, Yin walked out of the kitchen with a plate of food in her floral apron. Shun Mingxi looked at the table. 8 dishes and 1 soup. What was going on? Was this a Hongmin banquet? What's the occasion today? You're cooking, Shun Mingxi asked faintly. I just feel like I haven't eaten with you in a long time. You've been working hard recently, so I want to comfort you, Mr. Shun, Hui Yin said coquettishly. Yin, if it's about your mother, then give up. I won't help you. I can't help you, Shun Mingxi said as he took off his suit jacket. Chapter 2783. Why? Do you really look down on our family that much? Hui Yin looked disappointed. It seemed like she had prepared all night to lay the groundwork and coax Shun Mingxi. But before she could say anything, Shun Mingxi saw through her. This has nothing to do with looking down on you. If I really looked down on you then, you wouldn't be where you are today. Shun Mingxi made it very clear. What? Yin laughed self-deprecatingly. Yeah, if you really looked down on me, you wouldn't be close to me anymore. You wouldn't have let me continue to live a life of luxury. So, shouldn't I be grateful to you, young Master Shun? Do I need to kneel down and kowtow to you? Thank you for taking us in, and thank you for your great kindness. Hui Yin, don't talk to me in that weird tone. I never owed you anything. Shun Mingxi was getting a little angry. Ever since Shinjiani came back, Hui Yin's style had changed completely. Shun Mingxi didn't know that Hui Yin had always been this kind of person, or that she had been influenced by her mother, who loved to court disaster. The gentle, kind, and considerate woman of the past was completely gone. In her place was a woman who only knew how to mock and ridicule, or put on a bitter show about how hard she had been through, or go around begging for help. To be honest, although Shun Mingxi wasn't very close to Huamin, he thought that if Huamin was like this, so you wouldn't be so infatuated with her. At the end of the day, Hui Yin still did something that men hated the most. Moreover, she seemed to have underestimated Shen Mingxi's IQ. Mingxi, can't you help her, considering that I've been with her for so long? Huiyin saw that the hard way didn't work, so she immediately softened and turned into a little lamb. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. Your mom wants to die, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's not about whether I help or not. First of all, I can't help because I don't have the ability to. Second of all, if I help you, I'll be making an enemy out of Qin Shu and Su Yu. I don't want to die yet. Third of all, I advise you to lay low for a while. Don't forget that this time, your mom and He Yongjun were only able to catch the twins because they used Tian Tian as bait. Do you think Qin Shu won't come after you? So, are you afraid? Are you afraid that I'll drag you down? Well, Yin Yin sneered. If I was afraid that you'd drag me down, I wouldn't have said so much to you, and I wouldn't have let you stay in this house. Hui Yin Yin, can you use your brain? Shen Mingxi felt that it was getting harder and harder to communicate with Hua Yin Yin. It was as if she didn't understand human language and was extremely unreasonable. The current situation was that the two of them would quarrel and be unhappy whenever they saw each other. The sweet scene from before was completely gone, and the two of them hadn't slept on the same bed for a long time. Yeah, I don't have a brain. I'm stupid because I don't have a brain. I'm always being bullied and lied to. Wei Ying has a brain, but you don't like her either. Hua Yinyin used all the harsh words she could to refute him. This verbal battle had deeply hurt the relationship that they had built up over a long time. You're unreasonable. Hearing her words, Shen Mingxi flipped the table over, and the dishes scattered all over the floor. Frightened, Tian Tian burst into tears. Boo-hoo, uncle, don't be angry. Tian Tian is scared. Children were always the most innocent. Shen Mingxi, what are you doing? Are you scaring my daughter? Hua Yinyin yelled at Shen Mingxi with the baby in her arms. Chapter 2784. I have nothing to say to you. I don't know how you became like this. Then, he slammed the door angrily and left. Huiyin sat in a room with her daughter in her arms, crying bitterly. Her mother wasn't the only one who messed up a good hand. She did too. Unfortunately, Huiyin didn't realize it. She even contacted a lawyer in private. By the fountain in South Hill Manor, Qin Shu and Su Yu stood in a remote corner, watching everyone play and laugh. Qin Shu handed a cigarette to Su Yu. Su Yu took it, took out a lighter, and lit it for Qin Shu. Then, he lit himself. Shun Jiani, Hua Yinyin, might be involved as well. She'll probably find a lawyer for her mother. Okay, Qin Shu said softly. What are you going to do? I've arranged everything. Qin Shu said nonchalantly as he looked at his wife and daughter, who were not far away from him. But try not to let Huimin know. I'm afraid she'll be soft-hearted. You know, sometimes it's better to get rid of the root of the problem to prevent future trouble. I won't let her know. Qin Shu agreed with Su Yu. Ever since Huimin became a mother, she was soft-hearted. Sometimes, she would be lenient to her enemies. But this way, there would be trouble in the future. Therefore, Qin Shu felt that he didn't need to tell Huimin everything about how to deal with the aftermath. He and Su Yu hit it off immediately. After all, men and women had different styles of doing things. What about Zhang Manlin? Su Yu asked. Let's do as she says, Qin Shu said. Haha, good, very good. I'll wait for the show. You guys do your best. Su Yu smiled happily in front of Qin Shu. He even reached out his fist and hammered Qin Shu's shoulder as a sign of friendship. Then, the two men looked at each other and smiled. The next morning, Huimin, who had been on leave for a long time, finally returned to work at the hospital. She also saw President Wu, whom she hadn't seen in a long time. After the morning meeting, President Wu and Huimin discussed the plan for the new season. President Wu, if there's nothing else, I'll go back to my office. Mian, wait. Director, what is it? There's an exchange opportunity in Germany recently. We have 2 spots here. I want you and your assistant to go. You know, I'm getting old, and I'm not far from retirement. I really want to train you. Director, Mian bit down on her lips, unable to speak. Is there a problem? President Wu saw Hua Min's hesitation. Director, I'm really sorry. Can't fly long distances right now. I'm pregnant. Humin was a little shy. That's a good thing. You hit well. It seems like my vice director is going to take maternity leave again. President Wu smiled lovingly. Director, I'm really, really sorry. Humin felt very guilty. No, it's a good thing. There's nothing to apologize for. We'll have plenty of opportunities to exchange programs in the future. Take care of yourself. Okay. Does Qin Chu know about it? He doesn't know yet. Why are you hiding such a big thing? Hurry up and tell your family. Let's have some fun together. Okay, I plan to tell them soon. When they walked out of the director's office, Humin met up with Lu Zhe at the corner of the corridor. His injuries were almost healed, and he could move freely now. When he saw Humin, his expression was a little awkward. Humin didn't even look at him and continued walking. He didn't plan on greeting people like him. Humin, I have something to talk to you about. Lu Zhe looked at Humin's back with a complicated expression. Chapter 2785. I don't think there's anything else to say to you. Humin put his hands in the pockets of his white lab coat. It was written all over his face that he was not friendly. Initially, he didn't have a good impression of Lu Zhe. After all, he knew from the beginning that Lu Zhe approached him with ulterior motives. However, when he found out that Lu Zhe framed Su Yu for revenge, Humin was furious. Su Yu might be a little overbearing at times, but he would never do anything immoral. Zhao Qingya's fate and Zhao Xia's death couldn't be blamed on Su Yu. Therefore, Humin felt that Lu Zhe's worldview must be abnormal for him to be so childish. Therefore, he didn't want to waste time talking to him. I know you don't like me. Lu Zhe smiled. So, Humin raised his eyebrows and asked. So, I've already submitted my resignation letter to President Wu. Lu Zhe's face was sincere. Oh, that's good news. I really don't want to see your face every day. You're a top student from a famous school, and your family isn't lacking in money. You shouldn't have come to Southside. When Humin heard Lu Zhe's resignation, he felt a lot better. You're right. I should go back to where I belong. I plan to go abroad and be with my parents. Really? You're not going to take revenge? Humin was suspicious. He wondered if Lu Zhe was up to something again. Revenge? Haha, of course I wanna, but I know my limits. This time, not only did I not take revenge, but I also exposed my motive and identity. So you definitely won't give me a second chance. Plus, if I continue to stay here, so you won't let me off easily. So, it's not wise for me not to run away. Lu Zhe continued to smile. That's true. If you can think of this, it means that you're not that stupid. Humin felt that Lu Zhe's thoughts were correct. I wanted to say goodbye to you, but I know you don't like me. Since we happened to bump into each other, I thought I'd say hi. Haha, it's okay. Dr. Lu, you're too polite. We're not that close anyway. We're colleagues. After all, I used to be in your class. We're classmates. I'm not close to my classmates. Who means to be honest? I know. You only have Qin Chu in your heart, Lu Zhe said for her. Are you done? If that's all you want to say to me, then I'll also tell you that I wish you a safe journey. Then, Humin turned to leave. Humin, don't be friends with Su Yu. Stay away from him and don't hang out with him. Dr. Lu, did you hit your head? Humin turned around and looked at Lu Zhe in confusion. I'm doing this for your own good. Really, I've heard a lot about you in the hospital. To be honest, as a girl with no background, not born into a rich family, and not relying on her father, it's not easy for you to get to where you are today. I admire you, and as a fellow doctor, I'm even more impressed by your medical skills. So, I think I should give you a friendly reminder. Thank you for your reminder, but I don't need it. Plus, Su Yu and I will always be good friends, Humin replied coldly. But he'll drag you down, Lu Zhe suddenly yelled from behind. What do you mean? Humin frowned slightly and turned around to look at the man. Chapter 2786. I can't say too much. Anyway, remember what I said. I'm doing this for your own good. Then, Lu Zhe turned around and walked in the opposite direction. By Humin, Lu Zhe murmured in a voice that Humin couldn't hear. Huamin thought about what Lu Zhe said and felt it was strange, but he couldn't put his finger on it. He felt like Lu Zhe knew something, but Huamin knew he wouldn't ask him. When they returned to the office, Chun Jie brought them a cup of coffee. Sister Mian, take a break. You've been busy the whole morning since you came back. It's fine. I'm a workaholic, so I have nothing to do when I'm free. Huamin smiled as she picked up the coffee cup. Jia, what's Nayang up to these days? We had dinner last night, and there were a lot of people, so I forgot to ask him about his personal life. He's really free. He's picking up his brother to play games or have dinner or tea with friends. Didn't anyone try to persuade him to take on more projects, concerts, or commercials? Huamin was curious. Of course. We get a lot of calls like that every day, but we're used to it. He doesn't want to be so tired, and I don't want him to be so tired either. Young people nowadays are too busy. Sometimes it's good to slow down and reflect on life. Sister Mian. Xinjia looked like she wanted to say something, but didn't. Go ahead. Zhang Manlin's not working here anymore. Is she really going to the Qin Corporation? Huamin nodded. Really? I thought it was just a gimmick. A lot of people at the hospital were talking about it this morning. They said they saw Zhang Manlin showing off on her WeChat. Oh. Huamin continued to drink his coffee, not surprised at all. But Sister Mian, you know that woman's character is terrible. Why'd you do it? President Qin is stupid, but so are you. Haha, you're the one who's stupid. I promised her. What? Pudding? Chun Jie was even more confused. Zhang Manlin, even though she's a little annoying and I don't like her, she really contributed a lot this time. If it weren't for her, we wouldn't have been able to save our daughter so quickly. After all, she's our daughter's savior. If she wants to work at GK, we'll fulfill her wish. Aren't you afraid that she might have designs on President Qin? The consequences would be unimaginable. If I was afraid, wouldn't I have to lay off all the female employees? Don't worry. Huamian smiled at Chun Jie. I still don't think we should use her. For the first time, Chun Jie felt that Huamian was too confident. Even if CEO Qin wasn't that kind of person, he wouldn't be able to resist after a long time. Men were most afraid of shameless women who had no moral integrity and bottom line, because they were capable of doing anything. Chun Jie tried to persuade Huamin for a long time, but he didn't take her words to heart. She had no choice but to leave the office in disappointment. After Chun Jie left, Huamin sat up straight and took a sip of his coffee. Then, he glanced in an inconspicuous corner with a meaningful look in his eyes. He must have heard everything she said, right? GK headquarters. Zhang Manlin had just reported to the company and was in a good mood when she came back. She didn't think it would be so easy to get into GK and become Qin Shu's assistant. This was the dream of many women. Zhang Manlin. A man's voice called out from behind her. Chapter 2787. Zhang Manlin turned around. When she saw the man, her face was full of disgust. What's up? Zhang Manlin's reaction was cold. Trickster was wearing a suit he had just bought. He had a haircut, and his face was filled with excitement. I have good news for you. Mr. Qin promised to give us a car and a house. What does that have to do with me? Zhang Manlin glared at him and asked, Shouldn't we be happy? Previously, I was thinking that it would be hard for you to follow me to the ends of the earth. Now it seems that I have everything. I just call my family. My parents want us to get married as soon as possible. As for how much money you want as a wedding gift, we could discuss it. All right, my mother also said that if you can give birth to a son for me, I will write the house in your name. What do you think? Are you crazy? Zhang Manlin looked at the man in front of her with disdain. Hey, you country bumpkin, listen to me. Zhang Manlin pointed at him arrogantly. My name is not Hey. I said you can call me by my name. My name is Zhang Shu Bao. You can call me Bao. Uffed. You're shameless. Let me tell you, you country bumpkin. Don't dream about it. I'll never marry you. Then why did you say that back then? The man looked shocked. If I didn't say that back then, I was afraid that you people would hurt me. You think I like you? Why don't you take a look in the mirror and see who you are? I like you. What a joke. You country bumpkin who doesn't know anything. You should be glad that your big brother chose this path. That's why you're still alive. Otherwise, President Qin would have chopped you into pieces. Also, I'll never forget what you did to me. If it weren't for you bandits, I would have called the police and arrested you. Do you know that it's rape? For someone like you, it wouldn't be a pity even if you were to be an old man for 10 years. I don't have time to deal with you right now. You better not come and bother me. If you annoy me, do you believe that I have 100 ways to separate your head from your body? Do you think this is your poor upper ditch? Idiot. Also, let me tell you, you better not tell anyone about us. Otherwise, even if you're guilty of rape, you'll go to jail immediately. With that, Zhang Manlin turned around and left, leaving the dumbfounded man behind. Zhang Manlin hated this man to the core. If it weren't for Qin Shu taking care of them, she would have called the police long ago. After thinking about it, if she made a public announcement, the news of her being raped would be made public. At that time, not only would she not be able to be a decent person, it would be even more difficult for her to seduce Qin Shu. Therefore, Zhang Manlin swallowed her anger and decided to deal with this man after she dealt with Qin Shu. She didn't expect him to take the initiative to come to her door and talk about something as childish as marriage. Although Zhang Shu Bao was a little smart, he didn't expect that the women in the city would be so fickle. Just a few days ago, they were still lovey-dovey with each other, calling each other big brother. Now, they had turned their backs on each other. His heart was also filled with disappointment. In the evening, Huamin received a call from the first hospital on his way home after work. Big Sister Yin, Huamin greeted politely. Mian, I saw a woman who looked a lot like you come to our hospital today. Oh, really? Huamin thought that it must be Zhang Manlin. At first glance, I thought it was you and was shocked. Then, I took a closer look and realized that she just looked a little like you. So, I wanted to ask you if she's your relative. Oh, then why did she go to the hospital? To see a doctor? Huamin was curious. Chapter 2788. To be honest, I'm a bit embarrassed to say it out loud. Upon hearing this, Huamin had a rough idea of what was going on. It's a hysterectomy. Oh, I see. Thank you, Big Sister Yin. You're welcome. Do you know this person? Yeah, I do. Huamin nodded. I knew it. Why didn't you tell me in advance if she's a friend? I could have pulled some strings for her. We're not that close, just acquaintances, Huamin explained. Oh, I see. Okay then, I'll leave you to it. Mian, come visit us when you have time. Okay, Big Sister Yin. Bye. After hanging up, Huamin's imagination began to run wild. Was Zhang Manlin up to something? Why was she in such a hurry to have a hysterectomy? She wasn't thinking of doing something shameless to Mr. Qin, was she? Also, although Zhang Manlin was annoying, Qin Shu and Suyu both said that she didn't have a boyfriend. If she didn't have a boyfriend, then how did she lose her virginity? Could it be that she was having an affair with Hua Xiqian? Was it because she looked like him that Hua Xiqian wanted to use her as a substitute? At the thought of this, Huamin felt so disgusted that he wanted to vomit. Huamin had underestimated Hua Xiqian. Even if Hua Xiqian was muddle-headed and sexually frustrated, he would never touch a woman like Zhang Manlin. All these years, Hua Xiqian had only slept with Mo Shui, Song Yishur, and later Yen Ruashi. He also had a mistress who was pregnant with his child but died tragically. Other than that, he wasn't a mess. Hua Xiqian was casual when it came to sex. However, deep down, he was obsessed with cleanliness. He always thought that one day, he would be able to sleep with the woman he loved. That would be the happiest thing in the world. Unfortunately, after so many years, it had never been realized. Hua Xiqian had always felt that he was very strong. However, Qin Shu was even stronger. His pursuit of Huamin had always been getting harder and harder. Not to mention the addition of Suyu. When Huamin drove home, Qin Ning was making desserts with the two babies. Perhaps he was trying to make them happy, afraid that they would be traumatized by the kidnapping. Therefore, Qin Ning and Tang Chuan bought a lot of ingredients and brought them home to make all kinds of desserts. Sis-in-law, you're back. Come and see what your baby made for you. Qin Ning smiled. Little Bean ran over with a small piece of cake in her hand. Mommy, I made this myself. You have to finish it all. What's this smell? Huamin squatted down and hugged Little Bean with one hand. Mango. It's delicious. I've already tried it for you. Ha! You little greedy cat. Huamin touched the tip of Little Bean's nose lovingly and picked up the cake to eat. His daughter's cake didn't look good, but it tasted good. Pudding, what about you? Huamin looked at Pudding with a piece of cake in her hand. Don't eat mine. You'll get fat if you eat so much cream. As expected of his daughter, she always thought of her mother. Huamin felt warm in his heart. Pudding, Little Bean, come and help Grandma water the flowers, Lady Cheen called lovingly. Okay. The twins put down what they were doing and walked towards a garden outside. Sis-in-law, come here. I have something to discuss with you. Qi Ning waved at Huamin mysteriously. Chapter 2789. Okay. Qi Ning was being mysterious. Huamin thought she was going to talk about her relationship with Tang Chuan. To his surprise, Qi Ning dragged him to the pantry and said, Sis-in-law, I suddenly thought of something very important. What is it? Huamian asked in a serious tone. My nieces must have been scared out of their wits during this kidnapping. So, Huamin waited for her to continue. So, I plan to take them back to the States and find a top counselor to give them counseling. Huamin, but I'm worried that you and my brother want children and won't agree. So, I want to ask for your opinion first. Qi Ning said seriously. Ning Ning, listen to me first. Huamin tried to comfort Qi Ning. Sis-in-law, go ahead. First of all, your brother won't agree. There's no need to discuss it. After this incident, he's become more dependent on his daughters. Every day after work, he wants to see them first thing. Second of all, this isn't the first time they've been kidnapped. After Huasi kidnapped them, I was worried that they would be traumatized. So, I asked Xiaowei to counsel them, but Xiaowei gave them 3 psychological tests. Guess what? What? Qi Ning was curious. Not only are they not traumatized at all, but they're also thinking more and more. Xiaowei said that they don't have any psychological problems at all. Instead, they treat the kidnapping as survival training. Pudding even secretly wrote a summary of what she did well and what she didn't do well during the kidnapping. Oh my God! Sis-in-law, are you sure you're not joking with me? Qi Ning was shocked. Do you think I'd joke about something like this? Huamin sighed. What about this time? Did you give them a psychological test? I heard that Little Bean even hurt her head when she was kidnapped. She must have been scared. Qi Ning's heart ached for Little Bean. This time, both of them wrote summaries in their diaries. Pudding even thought that this was a chance for Pudding to improve her negotiation skills. My God. Really? Qi Ning couldn't believe it. The diary is in the drawer of their room. I suggest you take a look at it when you have time. So, this time, it's completely different. Look at them. They're eating and sleeping well. Their faces are full of arrogance. When they came here, they even made a big move. They kept saying that they're going to team up with their daddy and torture that bitch. Qi Ning. So, do you really think the 2 of them need counseling? I'm worried that after tutoring them, teacher will be tortured to the point that he can't take it anymore. Ha! Sister-in-law, you're too funny. Who would insult their own daughter like that? Qi Ning burst into laughter. No, you're wrong. I'm not slandering them. I'm just stating facts. My nieces, what should we do? He's like a god. Qi Ning smiled. So you don't have to worry about them. So, sister-in-law, are you sure you gave birth to 2 little princesses? Why do I feel like you gave birth to 2 Sun Wukongs? Ha! No, you're wrong. Even Sun Wukong isn't that energetic. They're only 3 years old. I can't imagine what they'll be like when they grow up. Huamin covered his face. Just then, Huamin's phone rang. As soon as Huamin picked it up, he heard a voice say, Huamin, come over. There's a fight here. Chapter 2790. Who hit someone? Huamin was confused. Wei Dong hit someone? Who are you? Huamin didn't recognize him. I'm Han Su. Oh, class president. Come quickly, Huamin. This started because of you. If you were here, they wouldn't have fought. Where are you now? Mom's restaurant on Jiangyin Road. Okay, I'm coming now. Huamin finished the call and walked out. Mommy, are you going out? Little Bean walked across Huamin with a watering can. Yeah, Mommy is going out to do something. Daddy will be back soon. You guys eat first, don't wait for me. Okay, but Mommy, you have to be careful. If someone flirts with you, just beat him up. Little Bean reminded. Okay. Huamin couldn't help but laugh. Then he drove the Porsche sports car out the door. Huamin rarely contacted Han, Sue, and the others. She even left the high school WeChat group. She didn't want to cause trouble. She looked for Huamin several times during class reunions. In the past, Huamin felt embarrassed and would attend. Later, after the incident with Lu Zhe, Huamin decided not to give face to anyone. She came today because she heard that Wei Dong was involved. After his downfall, Wei Dong was different from before. Huamian took the initiative to lend him money so that he could make a comeback. Wei Dong was very grateful and treated Huamian as a savior. Now that he heard that Wei Dong was involved in a fight, Huamin felt that she should at least take a look. When Huamin arrived at the place Han, Sue mentioned the police had already arrived and were taking Wei Dong out. Huamin went to the Municipal Public Security Bureau a few times because of the twins. Most of the officers there knew her and Qin Chu. Therefore, when the policeman saw Huamin, he actually took the initiative to greet him. Mrs. Qin, you're here too? You are? Huamin was confused. Ah, I'm from Municipal Bureau. I work for Director Gao. Oh, they're from the Municipal Bureau. Huamin nodded. Did you handle this matter? Yes. We came here as soon as we received a call from the police saying that there was a fight here. This is my friend. Can I have a few words with him? Huamin pointed at Wei Dong behind him. Of course. The young policeman was very polite to Huamin. Huamin walked over and saw Wei Dong in a sorry state. What's the situation? A drunken fight? Huamian frowned slightly. Why are you here? Wei Dong was surprised to see Huamin. Hansu called me and told me that something happened to you. Ah, it's nothing. I was just drunk and got into a fight, Wei Dong said calmly, as if he didn't want to talk about it. Who did you hit? Is he one of your classmates? Huamin thought that since he was drinking with Hansu and the others, he must be from his class. Yes, Xiao Peng and the others. I beat them all up, those bastards. Wei Dong seemed to be very angry and kept cursing. Where are they? Huamin looked around but didn't see Xiao Peng and the others. They're hospitalized. Huamin, how badly did you beat them up? They're hospitalized. Huamin was speechless. I'm not sure, but I beat them to death. Really? For what reason? Did you kill your father or steal your wife? Huamin was both angry and amused. Ah, it's nothing. Don't ask. It's windy tonight. You should go back, Wei Dong said. Then, he followed the policeman into the police car. Officer, this is my friend. Can you talk to Director Gao and see if I can bail him out first? Huamin decided to give it a try. Chapter 2791. That's not a problem, but you should call our director. Okay. Huamin took out his cell phone and called Gao Ran, but Gao Ran's phone was turned off. Huamin immediately called Zhu Lingling, but she told him that Gao Ran was at the Municipal Public Security Bureau and that if his phone was turned off, it meant that he was in a meeting. Huamin felt very awkward. His phone is turned off, so he's probably in a meeting. What should we do? Mrs. Qin, how about we take him away first? After all, someone called the police and saw all the commotion. You can go to the Municipal Public Security Bureau and bail him out. That's better, one of the police officers suggested. Okay, I'll go to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Just like that, Wei Dong was still taken away by the police. Just then, Han Su walked out of the restaurant. When he saw Huamin, he walked up to him enthusiastically. Huamin, you're here. MHM, what happened with Wei Dong and the others? Oh, it's just a gathering. Then, we drank too much and got into a fight. Then why did you say it had something to do with me on the phone? Huamin frowned and asked. Wei Dong didn't tell you? Han Su was surprised. He wouldn't say. Oh, he probably didn't want you to think too much. What's going on? Huamian was losing her patience. It's Xiao Peng and the others. They were drunk and said some nasty things about you. You know that Wei Dong has always been very protective of you, so they started fighting. Wei Dong was quite ruthless this time. He broke Xiao Peng's nose. Two of his buddies tried to help Xiao Peng and were punched a few times by Wei Dong, but in the end, Xiao Peng was injured. His wife insisted on calling the police to arrest Wei Dong. That's what happened. What did they say? Huamin felt like Han Su hadn't gotten to the point yet. I don't dare to say it. I'm afraid you'll be angry. Go ahead. I'm not angry. Xiao Peng and the others said. Wei Dong was originally bankrupt, but he made a comeback. When they heard that you were the one who gave him the money, they became suspicious. At this point, Han Su raised his head and glanced at Huamin. He wanted to say something, but stopped on second thought. Suspect what? He suspected that you might not be happy after marrying into a rich family. He wondered if your husband couldn't do it, so he asked Wei Dong for help. Otherwise, why would he be so kind as to lend him so much money? Wei Dong was very angry when he heard that, and that's what happened. Han Su told Huamin the story intermittently, and Huamin understood. These people, their minds were really dirty. Huamin, are you all right? Seeing that Huamin was silent, Han Su asked. I'm fine. This matter is actually very simple. I think that Wei Dong didn't hit him too hard. It's just a broken nose. If I was there, I would have beaten him until he couldn't take care of himself for the rest of his life. Han Su was speechless. Even if you're jealous, you shouldn't maliciously slander others, right? You didn't even have the least bit of kindness and courtesy. No wonder you're poor for the rest of your life. Tell Xiao Peng and the others for me. Don't even think about extorting a single cent from Wei Dong. Remember, I won't pay them a single cent. Also, don't let me see them on the streets in the future. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Don't talk about being classmates with us. Huamin, only care about good and evil, not classmates. After speaking, Huamin turned around and left. Huamin's words shocked Han Su. In his impression, Huamin had always been arrogant, but he had never been this domineering. Most of the time, he would let people off whenever possible. He didn't think that this time he would flip out. City police detention room. Huamin opened the door and walked in. He looked at Wei Dong coldly and said, "Come with me." Chapter 2792. Huamin. Wei Dong had already sobered up. Let's go. After speaking, Huamin turned around and walked out the door. Wei Dong silently followed behind him. When they walked out of the door, Gao Ran happened to be assigning tasks to his subordinates. Gao Ran, I'm leaving now. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Gao Ran actually knew Wei Dong. After all, they were from the same school. Although they weren't in the same class, Wei Dong left a deep impression on him as a troublemaker. However, as the son of a high-ranking official, Gao Ran rarely paid attention to these so-called businessmen in society. Many people wanted to give him gifts, but they didn't have the connections or were rejected. The reason was simple. Gao Ran was still young and wanted to be promoted. He didn't want to ruin his future for these immediate benefits. Moreover, Gao Ran came from a well-off family. Most of his family members were high-ranking officials and businessmen, so he didn't lack money. Only those who didn't have money would become corrupt when they became officials. Recently, in the first episode of the popular drama, In the Name of the People, Zhao Dahan embezzled 200 million yuan. He claimed that he was the son of a farmer, but in reality, he was afraid of being poor. Wei Dong lowered his head and didn't dare to look at Gao Ran. He knew that people like Gao Ran and Qin Chu looked down on people like him who weren't doing well. After Huamin brought Wei Dong out, he gestured for him to get into the car and then drove to a parking spot. Huamin, I'm sorry. Wei Dong quickly apologized, because Huamin had a straight face the entire time. Why are you sorry? Huamin tilted his head and looked at him. I shouldn't have caused trouble and asked you to bail you out. I'm sorry for causing trouble for you. If I knew this would happen, I would have paid some money and settled it privately. I know that they just want to extort money from me. Since you know, why did you still eat with them? Huamin was indeed a little angry. When I was rich, they kept calling me Brother Dong. When I went bankrupt, they hit me while I was down. Now that I've made a comeback, I naturally wanted to show off and vent my anger. I didn't think that. Wei Dong lowered his head and didn't dare to continue. I didn't expect that not only did I fail to show off, I was also set up by a few paupers, right? Huamin asked him. Wei Dong nodded. Wei Dong, you're not a child anymore. There are some things that you should understand. Yes, it was my negligence. Do you know why I'm willing to lend you money, but not to those people? Huamin asked him. Wei Dong raised his head and looked at Huamin before shaking his head. Because after knowing you for so many years, I know that you're not a bad person at heart. You're just a little vain. Those people, on the other hand, are inherently bad and can't be saved. You, on the other hand, climbed out of the entertainment industry, but you still want to go back. Tell me, what should I scold you for? You can scold me or hit me. I know it's my fault, but I just can't bear to hear them humiliate you like that. Wei Dong looked wronged. I don't care what people say. If I did, I would have been driven to suicide by the rumors. Since this happened, let's leave it at that. Don't talk to them anymore. Also, I'm telling you, you don't need to pay them any money. Don't take a single cent. I'll take care of it. I'm really sorry to trouble you. Did Hansu call you? Wei Dong looked apologetic. Speaking of Hansu, I have to say a few more words. Okay. Wei Dong nodded. Do you think Hansu is a good person? Huamin asked seriously. Chapter 2793. We've always had a good relationship. Wei Dong said. That's why I say you're not scheming enough. No wonder you were tricked so easily. Is Han Su also? Wei Dong finally realized what Huamin was going to say. Stay away from him. He's not a good person. You finally got up. Don't get involved. Live a good life. Your mom's old, and it's not easy for her. Thinking of Wei Dong's mother, the woman who looked so sincere, Huamin felt that it wasn't easy for her either. I will. Thank you, Huamin. Wei Dong felt that Huamin had a lot of good qualities. No wonder so many excellent men were infatuated with her. Even girls would like a woman like her. Okay, you can go back now. Take a taxi. I'm going to drive home. The kids will miss me if I get home too late. Okay. After parting ways with Wei Dong, Huamin drove home. Luckily, it wasn't too late. The twins were playing a game around their dad. Only when he was with the kids did they see Qin Chu's rare smile. Daddy, you're so good at the game. I have to give you a compliment. Little Bean hugged Qin Chu's neck and acted cute. Of course, Daddy's IQ isn't high enough to be defeated by a little game like this. Pudding rolled her eyes. Sis, who do you think will win if Daddy and Mommy play a PvP game? Little Bean's imagination ran wild. It's hard to say. I've never seen Mommy play a game. Pudding wasn't sure. What game? Let me try. Huamin said as he walked over. Wow, Mommy, you're back? Little Bean was pleasantly surprised. Qin Chu looked up and saw Huamin. His eyes softened. Have you eaten? No. What do you want to eat? I'll get the kitchen to prepare it. I want to eat Mr. Qin's handmade sirloin steak, Huamin said deliberately. Okay, I'll do it now. With that, Qin Chu put down his phone and got up. Hey, you really going? Huh, I'm just teasing you. I'm not eating. I'm not that hungry. Come, let me see what game you're so excited about. Huamin leaned over. She sat directly on Qin Chu's lap. The scene of the family of four was very heartwarming. It's this little game. Daddy, you're awesome. You passed more than 50 levels in one go and didn't die even once. Little Bean praised. What about you and your sister? Huamin asked. I died once at level 20. My sister also died at level 35. Oh, it's so hard. Let me try. Huamin took Qin Chu's phone and started playing. Sis, let's bet. Who do you think is better, Mommy or Daddy? Little Bean asked excitedly. I'm not interested. Pudding said. Humph, you're so boring. I think Mommy is so smart that she'll play better than Daddy. Little Bean flattered Huamin. To her surprise, Huamin didn't help at all. As soon as Little Bean finished flattering him, Huamin hung up. I died. Little Bean. Pudding. Little Bean. Mommy, are you trying to slap me in the face? Pudding, what a slap in the face. Qin Chu. Okay, game time is over. You two go find Annie and take a shower. From now on, your mommy is mine. Huamin. Chapter 2794. Just like that, The twins watched as Chin Chu walked upstairs with Huamin in his arms. Daddy's so bossy. He took Mommy away just like that. Little Bean pouted. That's normal. Mommy belongs to Daddy. Pudding added. So we're the extra ones. Little Bean felt even more wronged. No, the one in Mommy's belly is the extra one. Pudding answered without hesitation. Chin Chu and Huamian didn't have a good night's sleep after the twins went missing. Now that they finally had a peaceful day, Chin Chu missed his wife dearly. As soon as he walked in, he threw himself on her. Then he kissed her passionately. Mr. Chin, wait, I have something to say. Huamin immediately pushed Chin Chu away. What do you want to say? Say it later. What followed was Mr. Chin's intense passion. Hey, honey, I'm serious. Listen to me. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Okay, go ahead, Chin Chu said as his hands continued to wander up and down her body. Honey, I can't. I'm with you. Why? Chin Chu looked up at Huamin and frowned slightly. His wife had been rejecting him recently, which wasn't a good sign. Put on your pants first. Huamin pointed at Mr. Chin's lower body. I took off my pants, and you're telling me this. Mr. Chin was disappointed. I have something important to announce. What is it? Is your period here? Don't try to lie to me. I remember it better than you do. Mr. Chin looked at Huamin with disdain, waiting to see what other tricks she had up her sleeves. No, it's not your period. I promise there's a surprise. Say it. Put on your pants first, Huamin emphasized. No, you say it first. If I don't think your reason is convincing enough, I'll continue. Yes, that was Chin Chu's plan. If Huamin's reason was not sufficient, he would continue to push her down. Fine, you win. Huamin was pinned to the bed by Mr. Chin and couldn't muster up any strength. She knew that Mr. Chin had been holding it in for too long. This time, he probably couldn't hide it any longer. He was so smart. If he used any other reason, she would definitely not let him off. Honey, are you trying to murder your child? What do you mean? Chin Chu was completely confused. You can't have sex in the first 3 months of pregnancy. Have you forgotten? So, what does it have to do with me? Our daughters are already 3 years old. Mr. Chin was still confused. All right, you're so stupid. Then I'll get straight to the point. Our wise and mighty Mr. Chin. Listen carefully. I announce that you're going to be a father again. What did you say? Chin Chu's expression couldn't be described as astonishment. You're going to be a father again. Huamin pursed his lips and smiled. Are you telling the truth? Chin Chu couldn't believe that happiness came so suddenly. Yes, it's true. It's been almost 2 months. Huamin continued to smile. Oh my God. Chin Chu straightened up and took a deep breath, then he pulled Huamin up from the bed, held him in his arms, and twirled him around the room happily. Huamian, you're pregnant. That's great. Thank you. Chin Chu was so happy that he didn't know what to say. At this moment, his behavior was as childish as a child's. Ouch, put me down, I'm dizzy. Huamin punched his shoulder. Wait, did you just say it's almost 2 months? Chin Chu suddenly realized a serious problem. Yes. Then why did I just find out? Mr. Chin looked at Huamin with a questioning look. Chapter 2795. Huamin felt guilty. Huamian, am I the last one to know that you're pregnant? No, Mom and Dad don't know either. Huamin smiled. Chin Chu, I'm asking you, who else knows? Chin Chu didn't let it go. Xiaowei knows. Who else knows? Little Bean and Pudding know. And Chin Chu's expression became more and more unsightly. President Wu knows too. I turned down a chance to study in Germany because I'm pregnant. Who else? Chin Chu continued to ask. Let me think. I think. So you knows too. Why am I the last one? At this moment, Mr. Chin's heart was filled with grievances. I was worried that you'd be worried. Aren't we working together to deal with Hua Xiqian? I didn't want you to be distracted by me. Bullshit. Huamian, you're too stubborn. Let me calculate the time. You're almost 2 months pregnant. When we arrested Shun Jiani and the others, you followed me to the mountains and took the helicopter. You even stayed up all night at the Municipal Public Security Bureau without eating, drinking, or sleeping. Oh my God, You're so stubborn. After Qin Shu realized what had happened, he still felt scared. Huamin was pregnant, but she still followed him everywhere. She even went to the mountains to arrest criminals. It was torturous. I'm fine. I'm not that stubborn. Look, isn't our child fine in my belly? I even did an ultrasound at the OB/GYN department today. The baby is very healthy. His heartbeat is very strong. Do you think you're pregnant with Neza? Qin Shu was speechless. Haha, so you asked the same thing. You two are really telepathic. Stop smiling at me. Don't think that you can get away with this. What? If you want to hit me, come on. Huamin walked up to Qin Shu arrogantly. He knew that Mr. Qin wouldn't let him go, so he did something so heart-wrenching. I'll put on your tab first. When the baby is born, you'll see how I'll deal with you. Mr. Qin loved her deeply, but there was nothing he could do about it. Puffed. You should be content, honey. I wasn't going to tell you. If you didn't insist on doing it, I really wouldn't have told you so early, Huamin said confidently. Don't piss me off. I'm about to die from anger. Mr. Qin put his hands on his hips and took a deep breath. To be honest, he wanted to hang Huamin up and give him a good beating. But at the same time, she couldn't bear to, all right, let's stop messing around. I'm a little tired. Let's go to bed and rest. After Huamin became pregnant, she was not only sleepy, but also tired easily. But you didn't eat anything at night. I'm not hungry, but the baby is hungry. Wait here. I'll go make you a bowl of noodles. After Qin Shu spoke, he turned around and went downstairs. His execution skills were unparalleled. However, it was a blessing to have a husband like this. After Huamin finished eating the love ramen, she rubbed her round belly and leaned on Mr. Qin's shoulder. Honey, yeah? How do you feel about being a father again? I'm happy and excited. Why? Because last time when you were pregnant, something happened to me and I couldn't be with you for the entire pregnancy. This has always been my biggest regret, and I've always wanted to make it up to you. This time, I can't miss it no matter what. I'm going to take care of you for the entire pregnancy until the baby is born. Qin Shu gently stroked Huamin's hair. Then, do you want to be a boy or a girl? Huamin looked up and asked with a smile. Chapter 2796. Both are fine. I don't know about that. Why not? Because they're both our children. It doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl. Qin Shu thought happily. A new life was about to join their happy family. I thought you want a boy since we have 2 daughters. I'll leave it to fate. I won't force it. Although a boy would be great, I like a girl too. Qin Shu didn't care about gender because he didn't have the feudal mindset of favoring boys over girls. Plus, his twin daughters had already brought him a lot of joy. It was said that daughters were the lovers of fathers in their previous lives. Fathers loved their daughters dearly and spoiled them to the heavens. Okay. Our Mr. Qin is always so calm. What about you? Do you like boys or girls? Boys, Huamin answered without hesitation. What? Qin Shu looked at Huamin in surprise. Because when I think of a 8-meter tall handsome man standing next to me 20 years later, I feel so proud. At that time, when I take my daughters out shopping, I can let my son carry everything we buy, haha. You don't want a son. You want a laborer. Qin Shu laughed. Boys have more responsibility. Although he's young, he can protect his mom and sisters. He can also play soccer with his dad. How nice would that be? Sounds good. Qin Shu hugged Huamin and thought gently. All right, I want to see Wei Dong and the others tonight. Then, Huamin briefly told Qin Shu what happened. Don't talk to those people in the future. They're always petty. Is someone jealous because I helped Wei Dong? Him? He doesn't deserve to make me jealous. In this world, other than Su Yu, no one can make me jealous. Mr. Qin was telling the truth. Whoa, you make it sound like you and Lord Su appreciate each other. Huamin couldn't help but laugh. Su Yu is a good opponent and a good friend, Qin Shu commented. That's true. Su Yu has always been a straightforward person. Other than being a little hot-tempered, bossy, and impulsive, there's nothing wrong with him, Huamin commented. Meanwhile, at Su Yu's mansion, achoo, he sneezed twice in a row. It's late. Who's missing me? Su Yu held a beer. Nye Lingxian. Tang Tees was a big talker. Get out. To be honest, you don't have a partner now anyway. Instead of using your left and right hands to settle it, why don't you find a clean girl? You're so horny. You're always thinking about those dirty things. She's my employee, and she's a good person. She's hardworking. I don't want to ruin her life. Ruin her? Maybe it'll be a love story. Don't you know that marriage is a trend nowadays? I think you should just marry her, Tang Chuan said. Your ideas are so bad that even dogs don't like them. So you glared at Tang Chuan. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Maybe she'll give birth to a son for you. Then you'll be perfect. No, thanks. Don't think about me. If you want to have a child, you can have one with Qin Ning. I'm not in a hurry, Su Yu said proudly. By the way, people in our circle are saying that the bitch Hui Yinyan is looking for lawyers to defend her mother. What are you going to do about this? Tang Chuan suddenly changed the topic. Chapter 2797. I won't comment on this. Su Yu was surprisingly calm. Oh, that's not like you. Tang Chuan was surprised. What'd I look like? Su Yu smiled faintly. Although Hui Yinyan wasn't the mastermind behind the kidnapping, she definitely had something to do with it. Ning said that the reason why the twins were kidnapped so easily was because Shun Jiani used Hui Yinyan's daughter as bait. Also, Hui Yinyan knew about it and went to the original kidnapping location. If Hui Yinyan was afraid of He Yongjun and didn't dare to tell He Yongjun about it, then that's fine. But after she came back, she didn't say a word. In the end, Shun Mingxi got the information from Hui Yinyan's daughter and told you. So you looked at Tang Chuan and continued to ask. So, don't you think Hui Yinyan is a bitch? Tang Chuan asked with disdain. I do. So, how are you going to deal with her? That depends on what Qin Shu does. Now that the twins are back safely, Hui Yinyan's appeal and Mrs. Zhang's transfer to GK are none of my business. These are Mion's family matters. Qin Shu knows how to protect his wife and kids better than I do. Plus, he won't be any gentler than I am. So you thought. Wow, when did our Lord Su become so humble? Tang Chuan was a little surprised. I'm not being humble. I still say that you have to know your place, understand? All right, you win. Huh, let's wait for a good show. Let's see how my brother-in-law deals with those bitches. Brother-in-law? Are you married? Don't you feel embarrassed calling me that? Su Yu laughed while holding a beer. I don't think so. She's calling me Ning Ning's name so righteously, because Ning Ning and I will definitely get married, Tang Chuan said confidently. Let's deal with your difficult father-in-law first. Tisk TSK? Why do you have to bring it up? Come, let's not talk about this. Let's drink. Tang Chuan didn't want to talk about Qin Ning's father's attitude, so he changed the topic. With the twins back, Su Yu felt much more at ease. During the weekend, Huamin brought the twins to the Su family's house for dinner. They had a great time there. Whenever this happened, Lady Su would reminisce about her son's marriage. You go ahead, Mom. I heard that there's a female artist in your company who has a good impression of you. Lady Su asked carefully. Tell me, did you see it in an entertainment magazine, or did you go to my company and ask the employees for gossip? Su Yu was speechless. That's none of your business. I just want to say that I'm not as good as the girl named Nye Lingxian. She's a good and clean person. Although female artists don't meet the standards of our daughter-in-law, right? But if you like her, we won't stop you. Seeing her son getting older day by day, Lady Su couldn't stay calm anymore. Her desire to have a grandson grew stronger. There's no chance between her and me. Don't worry about it. Su Yu rejected her directly. In fact, when I had dinner with Mrs. Wei last time, she vaguely mentioned Wei Ying to me. That girl has a hard life. Although she's divorced, you guys grew up together and know each other well. You and Wei Liao are brothers, so I'm thinking. Before Lady Su could finish her words, Su Yu was about to explode and stood up abruptly. Chapter 2798. Mom, are you serious? Has your son fallen so low that he has to marry a divorced woman? No, I didn't mean that. Mrs. Wei came to ask me about it. Besides, don't be so unfriendly to divorced women, okay? What's wrong with divorce? She didn't cross any moral line. Wang has a bad temper, but she's a good kid. Plus, to be blunt, if Mian got divorced, you wouldn't despise her and would happily raise her 2 kids, right? Mrs. Su said slowly. Mom, it's different. How is it different? Because she's Mian, so I'll accept her. You mean as long as it's not Huamin, you'll turn a blind eye to anyone else? Lady Su was a bit angry. No, it's just that weighing isn't good enough. First, her ex-husband is Shun Mingxi. He's been my buddy since we were kids. What's the big deal? Picking up a woman his buddy doesn't want? He'll be laughed at in his circle. Second, Wei Ying's temper isn't bad. She's very irritable. Even her brother can't stand her, let alone me. Third, I'll make my own decisions. Mom, don't worry about me, okay? If you really want grandchildren, that's easy. I'll get some sperm and find a few surrogate mothers for artificial insemination. As for grandchildren, I'll give birth to as many as you want. Just don't bother me. Then, Suyu stood up and left. Lady Su had always been as gentle as water, but this time she was so angry at her son that her liver hurt. As the saying goes, when a son grows up, he can't listen to his mother anymore. Suyu wasn't as obedient as he was when he was young. Especially when it came to marriage, he wouldn't listen to anything. GK headquarters, Sister Bella, I'm new as President Qin's assistant and don't know a lot of things yet. Please take care of me in the future. Zhang Manlin ran into Bella with a folder in her arms. You're too kind. Miss Zhang has always been very resourceful. I wouldn't dare to take care of someone that President Qin personally appointed. Bella hated Zhang Manlin. Sister Bella, I know you've misunderstood me before, but I'll slowly prove to you that I'm not just a pretty face. I'll do well. Let's talk about it after you make some achievements. No, I should say, let's talk about it after you've stabilized your position. Bella said coldly and brushed past him. Those who didn't know what was going on only knew that Zhang Manlin was promoted because of her contribution in saving the children. He had no idea what Qin Shu, Huamin, and the twins were really up to. Chairman Qin, this is the information I've compiled. Please take a look. Zhang Manlin was wearing a blue business suit and exquisite makeup. She tried her best to look like a professional. Leave it here. President Qin, are you free tonight? Zhang Manlin stuttered. Go ahead. Oh, here's the thing. I asked my friend to buy 2 tickets to a snooker game. I heard that you really like snooker, so I wanted to go with you. I'm not free. I'm going to a skating rink with my daughter tonight. I see. Okay, maybe next time. Zhang Manlin was slightly disappointed. By the way, do you know the guy called Zhang Shubao? Qin Chu suddenly asked. No, I don't know him. Why? Zhang Manlin panicked. She remembered Zhang Shubao. He was the hillbilly who raped her in the cellar. He begged me to let him work as a security guard in the company. He said he wanted to be closer to you. Qin Chu looked at Zhang Manlin meaningfully. She was so scared that her face immediately changed. She was really worried that the country bumpkin would say something to Qin Chu. Chapter 2799. Is that so? But I don't know this person. Zhang Manlin pretended to be calm. You don't know who Zhang Shubao is? Qin Chu asked. I don't know. This name, huh? I've never even heard of it. President Qin, are you mistaken? Did that person really say that he knew me? Is it just the same name? Zhang Manlin pretended to be innocent, which disgusted Qin Chu to no end, but he didn't expose her. Oh, I see. That's all. You can leave now. Okay, President Qin. Zhang Manlin smiled slightly and turned to leave the president's office. The moment she walked out, she gritted her teeth and cursed under her breath. This person is so shameless, even went to President Qin. No, I can't let him continue talking nonsense. When GK Corporation got off work, Zhang Manlin purposely worked overtime until late, waiting for everyone to leave before she went to the security room. Among the kidnappers, only Zhang Shubao came to work as a security guard and was very close to her. She heard that some of the others went to the logistics company and some went to the real estate company. Looking for someone? At the door of the security room, A young security guard saw a woman loitering around the door and asked curiously, "Is Zhang Shubao here?" "Zhang Shubao. Oh, the newcomer. He's not inside. He's patrolling on the 8th floor. You can go there directly to find him." Okay. Zhang Manlin patiently took the elevator to the 8th floor. Sure enough, she saw Zhang Shubao standing in the hallway in a security guard's uniform from afar. "Why are you here?" Seeing Zhang Manlin, Trickster was very happy, and there was even a hint of surprise in his voice. "Let's talk over here." Zhang Manlin pointed at the corridor because she wanted to avoid all the surveillance. After all, this was Qin Shu's territory. She didn't know that Qin Shu knew about her private meeting with Zhang Shubao. Zhang Shubao was obedient and came over when Zhang Manlin called him. "Why are you working here?" Zhang Manlin looked at the man in front of her with disgust. "Isn't this good? The company's treatment is good, and I don't know how to do anything else. I'm different from you. I don't have a high education or culture. A rough person like me can only be a security guard. President Qin is really nice. He arranged for me to come in without saying anything. The salary and treatment are all very good." "You told President Qin that you know me?" Zhang Manlin asked the main point. "Yeah, I just wanted to be closer to you. So when President Qin asked me what I wanted from my job, Zhang Manlin slapped Zhang Shubao's face, and the burning pain slowly spread through his body. Zhang Shubao was dumbfounded. "You bumpkin, do you want to die? Didn't I tell you not to tell anyone about our relationship?" Zhang Manlin roared. "I didn't mention that. I just said that we know each other and that I like you. No, you can't say that you know me. You have money, a house, and a car. Just go back to the countryside and live a peaceful life. The money is enough for you to spend for the rest of your life. Why do you have to stay here and haunt me?" Zhang Manlin was so angry that her face turned pale. Zhang Shubao was stumped by Zhang Manlin's question. He didn't know what was wrong with him. Ever since he became rich, the villagers heard about it, and many people came to his house to act as matchmakers. However, he kept thinking about the woman he slept with in the cellar. It was as if he was possessed. "What's wrong with you being with me?" Zhang Shubao didn't understand what was wrong with him. Now that he was rich, why did this woman's attitude change so much? Chapter 2800. Follow you? Are you kidding me? Zhang Manlin laughed in disdain. "I'm not bad-looking, and I'm not much older than you. Although I'm not as educated as you, I have a house, a car, money, and a stable job. Why wouldn't I be good enough for you? You're a country bumpkin. No matter how much money you have, you can't change the fact that you're a country bumpkin. You want to marry me? In your dreams. Let me tell you the truth. My goal is President Qin." Zhang Manlin didn't want to waste her breath on him, so she got straight to the point. "What? President Qin? But President Qin has a wife." Trickster remembered that he saw President Qin's wife from afar when he was picking up the twins. She was a woman with a very strong aura. She seemed so distant that people didn't dare to get close to her. He didn't expect this woman to be thinking about a godlike figure like President Qin. So what if he has a wife? He can get a divorce even if he's married. From the very beginning, I came for President Qin. Otherwise, do you really think I'm willing to work as an assistant? Ha! You're too naive. No, I should say that you're too stupid. I was nice to you because I was in a dangerous situation and had no choice. If you dare to touch me again, I'll sue you for sexual harassment." Zhang Manlin was arrogant. "Woman, your face really changes faster than the weather changes." Zhang Shubao sighed, feeling a little disappointed. This was the first time in his life that he fell in love with a woman, and this was the result. He didn't expect it. "Cut the crap. I'm telling you, get out of GK. Don't see you in front of me, or else. I won't go easy on you." "Zhang Manlin, you're heartless. We were once husband and wife." Zhang Shubao was heartbroken and blocked Zhang Manlin's way. "Get out of my way. Take your dirty hands away. Don't touch me again. What husband and wife? I thought I was bitten by a dog. Disgusting country bumpkins like you make me want to vomit every time I see you." Zhang Manlin shoved Zhang Shubao away and walked away in her 5-inch heels. After returning to the city, Zhang Manlin seemed to have changed into a different person. Her attitude was so bad that it made people's hair stand on end. Zhang Shubao was furious, but he didn't want to leave the headquarters because he cherished the job President Qin gave him. At the door of the conference room of Shun Group, Hui Yinyan wore an orange gown and held a limited edition Chanel bag in her hand. Shen Mingxi had bought them for her. She didn't know how much they cost, but Shen Mingxi really loved her and was willing to spend anything on her. Miss Hua, why don't you wait in the lounge? We don't know when Mr. Shun's meeting will end, said the secretary. No need. I'll just wait here. Hui Yinyan had no choice but to beg Shen Mingxi one last time. Her mother's case was about to be heard. If he didn't do that, it would be even more difficult for him to change his mind in the future once he was convicted. As soon as Hui Yinyan finished speaking, Shen Mingxi walked out of the conference room, followed by the company's executives. Mingxi, Hui Yinyan hurried up and hugged his arm. I'm in a meeting. Shen Mingxi's attitude was neither cold nor warm. Ever since Hui Yinyan's mother's accident, their relationship gradually fell apart. Shen Mingxi even didn't come back to sleep twice. He went straight to the Shun mansion. Mingxi, just give me 5 minutes. I'm really in a hurry, Hui Yinyan begged. Please, Mingxi. Hui Yinyan kept begging. Chapter 28:01. Shen Mingxi looked down at his watch and said, Okay, 5 minutes. Yin, I really have work to do. I know. I won't take up too much of your time. Then, Shen Mingxi and Hui Yinyan walked straight to the lounge. The female secretary quickly poured 2 cups of coffee for them and brought them in. Then, she closed the door. Tell me, what's the matter? Shen Mingxi flipped through the documents in his hands without looking up. Mingxi, my mom's case is about to start, Hui Yinyan said with a sobbing tone. I told you. I can't do anything about your mom. I know. I don't want to drag you down, so I thought of a way. What way? Shen Mingxi put down the documents in his hands and looked up at Hui Yinyan curiously. At this moment, Hui Yinyan took out a book from her bag. It was a book written by the famous monk, Master Xingyan. It was called Willing. What's the meaning of this? Shen Mingxi didn't understand. He held the book and asked Hui Yinyan. Turn to page 129, Hui Yinyan reminded him. Shen Mingxi flipped through the pages according to Hui Yinyan's instructions. Sure enough, page 129 was a little different. The pages were a little yellowed, but you wouldn't notice it if you didn't look closely. 129 is my mom's birthday symbol. She'll definitely understand what I mean. I still don't understand what you're trying to do. Mingxi, you have a lot of connections. Can you help me find a way to get this book in and give it to my mom? Give it to your mom to read Buddhist scriptures and enlighten her. Shen Mingxi didn't understand. No, this book, I did something to it. It's to save my mom, Hui Yinyan said in a small voice. Shen Mingxi didn't say anything as Hui Yinyan continued. I found a doctor I'm close with, and he got me a type of infectious bacteria. I plan to smear it on page 129. When my mom reads it, she'll be infected and her body will start to show signs of abnormality. Then, we'll have enough reason to apply for medical parole. Hui Yinyan, you're crazy. Shen Mingxi glanced coldly at Hui Yinyan's face. That's a perfect plan. People used to use it in prison. Mingxi, as long as you help me get this book in, I won't help you. Shen Mingxi refused. Why? Hui Yinyan was annoyed. First of all, your mom did something wrong, so she has to pay the price. Second of all, Qin Chu and Su Yu aren't idiots. Do you know how many of their spies are in prison? If they find out, I'm dead meat. In the end, you're just afraid of death. Huh? Hui Yinyan looked at Shen Mingxi with disdain. Don't talk like you're a great person who's not afraid of death. If you're not afraid of death, why didn't you kidnap the twins with your mom? Yinyan, stop messing around, okay? I won't get involved in this. Then, Shen Mingxi got up to leave. Shen Mingxi, if you don't help me, I'll break up with you. We'll be finished. I'm serious. Don't regret it. Seeing Shen Mingxi's determined attitude, Hui Yinyan was ready to use her ultimate move and break up with him. Haha, You using the fact that I like you as a bargaining chip to threaten me. Hui Yin, how can you be so disgusting? Shen Mingxi turned his head and sneered. I'm asking you, are you going to help me or not? Hui Yin sounded determined, as if she wanted to force Shen Mingxi to compromise. Chapter 28:02. I won't. Then let's break up, Hui Yin said in a fit of pique. Let's break up then. It's up to you. I'm tired. Shen Mingxi sighed and walked out the door. Hui Yin was so angry that she knocked over everything in the lounge, making a loud noise. Why? Why did this happen? Shen Mingxi rejected Hui Yin again, making her feel worthless and that he didn't love her anymore. However, she didn't think about how to fix their relationship. Instead, she began to think of another way. In the cafe, Hui Yin took out a brown envelope with a thick stack of cash inside. Here's the money. Where's the stuff I want? It's all here. The man handed her a USB flash drive. Is there only one video? Hui Yin asked. There are 3 videos. The first one is the conversation between Wei Dong and those people. It's all about Huomin. The second one is when Huomin escorted Wei Dong out of the police station. I purposely chose the angle to make them look very intimate. The third one is when Huomin found someone to settle the matter. Although Huomin didn't appear, he mentioned it in the conversation. Okay. Hui Yin nodded in satisfaction. Huh. I don't understand. Didn't you say that your relationship has improved? Why are you fighting again? Han Su laughed gloatingly. Just do what you're paid to do. It won't do you any good to ask too many questions, Huomin said coldly. Yes. I know. Aren't you the same? You're their class president? But didn't you do the same thing? Let's not be the pot calling the kettle black. Hua Yin glanced at Han Su. It's not all about money. 30,000 yuan isn't enough to last me a lifetime. I'm just jealous. I'm so jealous of Wei Dong. How could someone like him get Huomin's help? But I can't. I don't understand how I'm worse than Wei Dong. In the past, Wei Dong was richer than me, but now that he's bankrupt and no one cares about him, Huomin is willing to lend him 5 million yuan. Indeed, this matter made Han Su feel extremely unbalanced. In fact, he also had a crush on Huomin, but because he was very shrewd, no one had seen through his feelings for all these years. He was the one who organized every gathering. In fact, he had been looking for an opportunity to spend time alone with Huomin. However, the first gathering gave Qin Shu and Huomin a chance to get back together, which made him feel bitter. Later on, he even tried to drive a wedge between Wei Dong and Huomin. However, in the end, when Wei Dong was at his most difficult, Huomin was still willing to help him. Huomin, on the other hand, had always been very distant from him. Therefore, when Hui Yin came to him, he agreed to help her without hesitation. He even recorded these videos for her. Haha, jealousy and hate, I understand. I used to be like that too. Okay, you should go now. Don't let anyone see us together. After speaking, Hui Yin took the USB drive and left. Then, she cut a small portion of the video and saved it on her phone. At noon, Huomin had just finished eating in the hospital cafeteria when he received a message from Hui Yin. Mian, is it convenient for us to meet? It's not convenient. Huomin rejected her immediately. Then take a look at this first. Then, Hui Yin sent the screenshot to Huomin. It was the explicit conversation between Wei Dong and a few men. Hey, Wei Dong, is it because you have a big penis? Is that why Huomin has been looking for you? He can't live without you. You're really something. Ha. After watching this video, Huomin was furious. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.